Hey guys, so welcome back to my next podcast, which is my video right now, which is my how-to series. Guys, no matter what, today is the topic of how to Rothschilds. So who are the Rothschilds? Have you heard of Mr. Burns in The Simpsons? So you may have grown up watching The Simpsons where you've seen Mr. Burns. So Mr. Burns is the Rothschild of the father of the Rothschild family. So these people run the world in terms of finances, and they also run the world in terms of banks. So every single bank out there that you ever see in life, what happens is the Rothschilds own that bank, except for China. Now, since the Rothschilds own the banks, also the Rothschilds own the government. You understand? Because the Rothschilds have all the money. You understand? The Rothschilds have all the money. So since the Rothschilds have all the power in terms of money, mostly in terms of money they have, and now for guys, you have to, I'm not gay, you have to realize, guys, no matter what, that the real money is in the health, okay? Never worry about how much money they have. Let's just say they have 99% of the wealth out there in terms of money in the world and also power in the world because of the money. Now, because the Rothschilds hold all the banks except for China, which is the only bank, which is the Bank of China, that Rothschilds has never ever managed to persuade or to buy them off. You understand? Because if the Rothschilds buy the Bank of China, what happens is the whole world is under, let's say, Rothschilds in terms of the system of what's going on around us. So in order for you to realize what's happening is the Rothschilds own the government of every single country in the world except for the government of China, which is its own economic. You understand? China is its own economic system, while everybody else follows the economic system of the Rothschilds. Do you understand? Every single other country in the world has the economic system of Rothschilds. You understand? Now, since the Rothschilds have made the education system and the government system and what you see today in financial economics, you have to realize what's happening around the world right now is that the Rothschilds have made, for example, these government systems, which is called formal education. And now you may see public schools around you may see elementary schools around you, depending where you are in life. You may have a school nearby, which is a public school, which is anybody can go there to learn something. Now that government system, that is owned by the Rothschilds. So what the Rothschild family is teaching you right now is to get poorer and to work the 9 to 5. That's what all the education systems of the world are teaching right now, except for my education system here. This is how important my education system is right here. And that's why I say, no matter what, you guys have to create your own education system so you can overcome the Rothschilds. Now, since you can see that, you have to realize that every government system in the world is a formal education system. Now, what's a formal education system? It means to make you work the 9 to 5 all your life. And that's what the Rothschilds need you to do. You understand? Now, obviously, we never need to be in the 9 to 5 job in the first place. Because guess what? That's how the education system is set up for us to do. I was a person who went to a Rothschild school. You understand? 99% of the world is going to a Rothschild school and also to the banks of whatever country they're in, except for China. They're walking into the banks of the Rothschilds banks. They're using the printed money, which is Rothschild money. You understand? Because guess what? The reserve banks of every single country, except for China, are all printing their own money for Rothschilds, while China is printing their own money for their own country. You understand that? So since that's all explained, you have to realize now, since the government education systems are set up for us to lose, because that's how the Rothschild family needs us to be. The Rothschild family needs us to be losers and to work for the Rothschild family and to work for the Rothschild family so that we be slaves to money and the 9 to 5 job. Because that's what the Rothschild family needs us to do. because that's how the government system is placed, and that's how the Rothschild family has the power with the money to make us work the 9-to-5 job, so that we are slaves to money, so that we make the Rothschild family richer. Why? Because the banks of every single country in the world are printing money every single day anyway. So what is happening right now? What is happening is every single bank in the world is printing money. When they print money, guess what? It goes to the Rothschild family, except for China's money, which stays in China. So you can see that Rothschilds are printing their own money. Now, if you go and start printing your own money now, guess what happens? You get thrown in jail. Why? Because that's how the Rothschild family has set it up. You understand? The Rothschild family has set it up that if you start printing your own money against the system, which is the Rothschild system, which is the government education system that backs up Rothschild family, because Rothschild has all the money, as soon as you start printing your own money, you would start having a position of power in the world. And guess what? The Rothschild family never needs you to do that. Why? Because the Rothschild family needs to have 99% of the power in the world. So you can look at the Rothschild family as the emperor of the world today. And everyone else is the Rothschild's family in terms of the Rothschild family slaves. You understand? Why? Slaves to the education system around us. You understand? Slaves to the money that's going around. Slaves for all kinds of scenarios in terms of what's happening in terms of education and government system. So the government system, the banking system, and the education system is all rigged in 99% of the world today. So where do you go for that education system? You come to me and you go to my mentors, who are Tony Robbins, Eckhart Tolle, Osho, Zig Ziglar, Jim Rohn, Lewis Howes, Tim Ferriss, you understand? John C. Maxwell, Grant Cardone, Robert Kiyosaki, John Gray, and Neil Donald Walsh. These people will help you to teach you their own education system on how you can succeed more in your area of life and never be dominated by the Rothschild family. So what's happening is the self-education system is on the horizon now. So now is the best time for you to start your own education system and to lead people. So when you're leading people, what you're really doing is leading people into a greater life to overtake the Rothschild family and their government system and also their laws that they set up around the world, so that we can overcome their barriers and so that we can be people of power also. So the people can have the power and never just the Rothschild family. You understand? Because the Rothschild family set it up that they are in the position of power 99% of the time. For me, no. They're never in position of power for me. Now, most of the world is going to say you must do this because why? They have no clue either. That's why they're following the rules. What rules? They're following the Rothschild family rules. And you have to realize now, since I've explained the formal education system, which is the government system, which is the Rothschild system, and it's set up for us to lose. And that's what Robert Kiyosaki teaches. He teaches financial IQ. Now, Robert Kiyosaki is unaware of the Rothschild family behind this. Everybody else is unaware of what I can say today. You understand? Now, no matter what, you need to realize the banking system is never on your side. Why? Because the banking system works for the Rothschild family. All the slaves inside the banks right now are working for the Rothschild family at the 9-to-5 job. You understand? Because that's how the Rothschild family needs them to do that for them. The Rothschild family never cares about them. You understand? The Rothschild family never cares about the people of the banks who are working inside the bank right now in the 9-to-5. Guess what? They're slaves as well. They're slaves to the system. What system? The Rothschild family system. Now that's why many people are escaping the 9-to-5. Why? Because the 9-to-5 is set up for the Rothschild family. The Rothschild family has set up every single government system to make sure that you're working a 9-to-5 job. Otherwise, guess what? You have no money. you understand? And guess what? No matter what, since the Rothschild family is printing all the money, they never care, even when you escape the 9-to-5 job. Now, do you see what's going on here? There's a lot to speak about here. So, since you can see the one type of education, which is the formal education now, and guess what? The formal education is never your education. That's the Rothschild family education. What are they teaching you in formal education? They're never teaching you business. They're never teaching you finance. They're never teaching you leadership. They're never teaching you self-education. Why? Because it's set up for you to lose. Because as soon as they start teaching finance, spirituality, business, leadership, and self-education in the formal education schools, guess what? That's when people start to take over the Rothschild family. So when you're a person such as me, making their own education system to combat the Rothschild family so that we can gain power and so that we can become better and so that we can have more freedom, hence I do this, so I can have more freedom and so that I can lead people into a greater way of life also, where we all have power equally and never just 99% of the world in terms of money and all of that, which is no matter what, we are all more than money. More than money is with the Rothschild family because they own 99% of the world right now. And you have to realize this is going on for millennials now. Back in Jesus' time, guess what? The Rothschild family is the emperor. You understand? The emperor who said, crucify Jesus. The Rothschild family goes back those days. Yeah? You understand? And those days there were slaves in Egypt. They had to build these pyramids for who? For the Rothschild family. You understand? It's all set up. The Rothschild family goes way back to Jesus' times. And since Jesus spoke up about the Pharisees, about the hypocrites, and about their laws and what they're doing, guess what? Because Jesus stated what is, he was crucified for his thoughts. And his thoughts were never his thoughts. You understand? Jesus just seeing what was happening. He's just saying, this is what is it. This is what he is. And they killed him for it. Because Jesus was leading people into a greater life. Look at, for example, Martin Luther King. Martin Luther King Jr. This guy stood for the apartheid. Do you understand what the apartheid is? The apartheid is where the blacks were versus the whites. It was white people versus black people. And the black people were the white people's slave. In the 1980s, something of that nature. Do you understand? And what did Martin Luther King do? He stood up for the black people. You understand? And he started to speak. I have a dream that one day the black people will also be free. Do you understand? And I have shivers even talking about it. And guess what they did? Guess what the Rothschild family did to Martin Luther King also? They killed him. They assassinated him. Do you understand? They assassinated Jesus. They crucified him. The Rothschild family crucified Jesus, crucified Martin Luther King Jr. Why? Because Martin Luther King Jr. was leading the black people into a better way of life. And since Martin Luther King had more power with the black people and was their leader and the face of the black people in terms of life, who led the people of the black people into a freedom today that you see black people are all free. And that's the way it's supposed to be. He was shot, he was assassinated by the Rothschild family. And this is no conspiracy. It's no conspiracy. People say there's a conspiracy going on. There's no conspiracy going on. It's just that people are scared to speak up. And here I am speaking up about it now. You have to realize now, John F. Kennedy is another person who was assassinated by the Rothschild family. You understand? John F. Kennedy is a person who was president inside the United States of America. One of the greatest presidents in the world, John F. Kennedy. And he stood up and he wrote many letters saying that he needs to lead the people in a better way of life regardless of the Rothschild family. Do you understand? And guess what the Rothschild family done? They shot him and assassinated him. They assassinated John F. Kennedy also. Why? Because John F. Kennedy never listened to the Rothschild family. Now I'm not part of their family. You understand? I'm part of my family, who is me. You have to realize, as soon as you become a person of power in the world, and you have the spotlight, such as Jesus did, such as Martin Luther King did, and such as John F. Kennedy did, guess what happens? You also get assassinated. Is it a conspiracy? No. It's never a conspiracy. Guess what? The world today, as you can see it, there are many slaves in the world working for the emperor. Let's call him the emperor. Mr. Burns, who is in The Simpsons, who is the Rothschild family. And guess what they do? They create incest. They keep all the money within the family. They're having sex with each other. They're having sex with each other, do you understand? With their brothers and sisters. They're having sex with their brothers and sisters, do you understand? To keep it all in the family for themselves. Now listen, no matter what, you have to realize that's what's happening today. So as soon as you step up into power, such as Mahatma Gandhi did, what did Mahatma Gandhi do? Mahatma Gandhi is the person and the reason that India became an independent country. India worked for the British colony. You understand? India was a British colony. They worked for England. They were slaves to England. And then guess what? Mahatma Gandhi, because he was such a great speaker and spoke up about peace, allowed India and everybody else to allow India to be an independent country. And guess what? At 41 years old, Mahatma Gandhi was assassinated. Do you understand what's going on? Is it a conspiracy? No. Look at these people who were shot and killed and also crucified. Jesus, Martin Luther King, John F. Kennedy, Mahatma Gandhi, the four great legends of life. You understand? The Buddha has nothing to do with this. You understand? The Buddha speaks self-education. What I'm speaking today. And you have to realize, as soon as you start speaking up, that conspiracy that people are talking about, there is no conspiracy in life. Realize that. It's now that you realize, when you speak up, you also may get assassinated by the Rothschild family. So never be surprised about me speaking up now, such as those guys did. You understand? Why? I love the journey. I love to speak. I have a mouth, and I will speak up, and I will lead the people, such as those people did, that were crucified and assassinated. Now you have to understand my journey now and what's happening, and I need to lead this organization and everything that's going on now. I'm 27 years old, and I can see what's going on, and it's never the way to go. Now you have to realize that you need to also speak up with me. I can never do it alone. I need people on my side. I need people to hear this message. I need you to share this message around. You understand? That no matter what, this message will be here for the next 100 years. And you guys need to realize to watch this video and share it around as much as you can. Because I will update you guys on the Rothschild family and what's going on, so that I can make a dent in the universe as well. And so that I can make sure that our people who are working a 9-to-5 job and have less position of power today, that they have more power in the future, so that people can run over the Rothschild family. You understand? For example, Donald Trump is the president of is the president of the USA right now. Guess what? The Simpsons is the Rothschild family's cartoon. You understand? How? You see Mr. Burns. Mr. Burns is behind everything. You understand? And now, when you see Mr. Burns, for example, in terms of The Simpsons, you can see Donald Trump, and he's signing an autograph and doing all this for becoming president of America 14 years before Donald Trump even became president. Do you understand? So in the cartoon Simpsons, Donald Trump in 2003, around that time when I was watching Simpsons, I seen that Donald Trump inside Simpsons became president in The Simpsons of America. 14 years later, in real life, Donald Trump became the president of America. Is that a conspiracy? No, there's no conspiracy there. Guess who's behind the works of that? Mr. Burns, the Rothschild family. Now people are saying that the coronavirus today, there's a coronavirus going on in April 2020. Guess what's happening? The world is shut down. The world is shut down. So what do I mean? Every single place. Perth, you can only stay in Perth. Me, I can go to Cairns, I can go to Sydney because I have a Queensland Australian license. I can go live in Queensland because my address says Queensland on it. Even though I never live in Queensland. I placed the hostel name as my address. So I get to go to Cairns anyway. So no matter what, I can go to Sydney because that's where my biological dad is. I can say my biological dad is over there. And here I am in Perth. I can go to 3 areas, I can stay here, and I can go to those other 2 areas. So luckily me, I can still travel around Australia in these times. Luckily. And the police never see that anyway. You understand? So I can just stay quiet about that and go. Now realize no matter what, you can never even go overseas anymore. Or you can never even go to the next country. Why? Because the coronavirus is going on. What is the coronavirus? It's really nothing. It's nothing to do with the coronavirus. It's just a name stated for the financial downturn. Do you understand? And what is a financial downturn? A financial downturn is a downturn where there is an economic crash going on. And an economic crash is something that, for example, happens when people are losing their jobs all over the world. Now, what is happening around the world now is many people are losing their jobs. That's a financial crash going on. It's a stock market crash, as they call it. That's what it is. And now, no matter what, you have to realize that since there is a stock market crash, this means many people just lost their jobs, and the economy is going downhill. Why? Because, as I mentioned before, there's one bank that Rothschild family never ceased to overcome and to buy out, and that's China. Now China, what's happening right now in and around the world in 2020 April is China has bought in to the America's bond market. What is the bond market of America? The stock market. And what is the stock market? The stock market is the Rothschild family's market. So China bought bonds from the Rothschild family without China even knowing about what was happening. They were lied to by the Rothschild family. The Rothschild family lied to China's organization and government about the bonds and the market in terms of the stock market, which is the Rothschild family stock market, and how much money they can get in return for this stock market, which is just a paper signed that they can do it. And it's a made up paper. It's a made up paper. This paper here is called the Wall Street paper. What is the Wall Street? The Wall Street is America's government system. It's all the government systems of the world. That's what it's called. You understand? Now, the Wall Street is the government system, which is the Rothschild system, which is just a paper with a signature on it with some words, which states, once you guys give us, I'm fearless, once you guys give us $10 million, we'll return you, based on this paper that we wrote, a percentage on your return every single year. And guess what? That paper is the Rothschild's paper. That paper is the Rothschild's family fake paper. Do you understand? Now, no matter what, you can see that that paper is a Wall Street paper. Wall Street has to do with the Rothschild family. So Rothschilds signed the paper, which is just a lie, a scam, saying for China to give them this certain amount of money so that the Rothschild family, can give them a certain amount in return. Now, this is happening behind the scenes, and really the president and the Wall Street government is talking with the government of China, and has nothing to do with the Rothschild family really going up to the government system, even though the Rothschild family has everything to do with it. You understand? So Rothschild family is using the American people, other people, to go speak to China. Do you understand? The Rothschild family is never going themselves to go. That's the thing. Now you have to understand, China is doing this with America's system right now. They're speaking government systems. They're speaking in terms of what the Rothschild family wants in terms of life. And now, no matter what, you can see that China has been scammed by the American system. What is the American system? The American system is the Rothschild system, which is 99% of the world system. It's the Australian system, it's the Europe system, it's the South American system, it's the Canadian system, it's the African system, as well. You understand? So all I'm saying is Rothschild's system is that paper. It's the paper, do you understand? It's a fake paper stating that they will return a certain percentage of money for you every single year once you give us and buy into the stock market. Now, once you buy into the stock market, you have already lost. And that paper is saying for them to buy into the stock market for more money in return. Why? Because as soon as China gives, say, trillions of dollars into the stock market, they've already given the money to the Rothschild family. So what does the Rothschild family do? The Rothschild family gives them a certain percentage on this paper. On this paper, do you understand? Gives them a small amount back every single year. Why? So that the Rothschild family has more power and position over all countries in the world, including China, to take over China altogether with the money. So the more people dump in money into the stock market, the more the power of the Rothschild family increases, and the more the Rothschild family takes over the world. So now, do you understand what's happening? The Rothschild family has a fake paper. It's a fake paper, you understand? That states we will return a percentage every single year, whatever. You give them $1 trillion, they'll return you $5 million every year. Now, you understand what's happening? Why? You've already given them the $1 trillion, they're returning you $5 million over the long term. You've already given them the money. The money's theirs now. They never care about the rest. They never care about giving you $5 million when they already received $1 trillion. By the time they give you $1 trillion, 5,000 years has passed and more. So that's a scam. The scam is the paper, which is they're lying. They're lying, do you understand? Now, listen now. China is now holding the bond market. You understand? China has fallen already, given trillion millions of dollars to the Rothschild family. Because the Rothschild family gave them this paper and said, we'll return you the money. And China thought it was an excellent deal. You understand? And listen, no matter what, you can see it's easy to get scammed here. You understand? So I'm never blaming anybody. You understand? And listen, it's never the way to blame anybody anyway. Never blame anybody. Just see what's going on. See what's going on. And then now, since what's happening now is, guess what? China can cut loose the bond market. You understand? What does this mean? This means if China never continues to throw in money based on this contract, in terms of life, in terms of what, in terms of, it's never life, it's life, it's life. In terms of the Rothschild family, because the Rothschild family made a contract which is fake, if China discontinues that contract to pour in money into the stock market, because China is their own economy, do you understand? And once they cut off that bond market, guess what? You have to realize first I'll show you this. You have to realize, since China is stuck with terms and conditions that the Rothschild family has given, China can cut loose the bond market. which means once they cut loose the bond market, they never have to give them money ever again, and China can now be their own independent country and never be, let's say, in debt to anybody in life. Do you understand? So what happens is China runs many businesses in life and works, for example, with the American system, which is the Rothschild family system, to make sure that all countries in the world have their supply systems, have everything going. So as soon as China cuts loose the bond market, this means they will never do business with America again. So when that happens, World War III starts. Do you understand what that means? It means America will now start to bomb China for it. Why? Because guys, you can see now that no matter what, the Rothschild family owns 99% of the market. And you have to realize that the World War III is coming up. World War III is coming up in the world. Why? Because look what's going on around the world now. Around the world right now, there is a coronavirus, which is really, really a fake coronavirus. And people are dying who are elderly. They're saying they're blaming it on the coronavirus. It's never really the coronavirus that's going on right now. What's going on is China is about to break that bond system that they had with the Rothschild family. So that means that China now needs to gain more power in life. As soon as that happens, that means that Rothschild family never has the grip over China ever again. Which means China is its own economy and is going to start reigning supreme over America and the world. And guess what? Guess what? Rothschild family never needs that to happen. Do you understand how World War III starts? So guess what? Guess what happens? Since China is now the sole basis of why the coronavirus is going on, listen, it's never really China. It's really the Rothschild family why the coronavirus conspiracy is going on. It's never really a conspiracy. It's just people are confused and people never see what I see right now. You understand? There's never any conspiracy going on. It's the Rothschild family. Every time you hear the conspiracy of life, it's the Rothschild family is behind it. Now, you have to realize what's happening now. China is in the moments right now where they can cut really loose. They can cut it, and guess what? They will cut it. No matter what, there's going to be a World War III in life. Do you understand that? And billions of people will be massacred. I'm fearless. Now you have to realize. Now, China is in the position to just cut off the bond market to reign supreme on America. As soon as that happens, because the Rothschild family needs a position of power over the world, they are going to start World War III on China. Do you understand? The Rothschild family will say to Donald Trump at the moment, or whoever's president, you understand? Right now, they're going to say, you must bomb China and kill them all quickly. Why? Because they broke the contract. What contract? It's a fake contract to keep China in less power. Because China is so powerful, do you understand? China is their own economic system, their own government, and they stood away from the Rothschild family. You understand? So they said, no, we're never selling our banks. Because that was an excellent choice. That's what China's lifting us up instead. China's on our side, on the whole world side. Everybody else is convinced of America right now. So what you need to realize is whatever you're doing right now, you guys need to swap over and look at America right now as the dominating country of the world right now because of their money and who's behind it. Do you understand? The Rothschild family lives in America and the Simpsons is made in America. Do you understand? And the coronavirus was spread out first in America. Why? Why? It was spread out because of what's happening in the stock market behind the Rothschild family. You understand? China and America have to do with the coronavirus. Let's just put it that way. Which is a conspiracy, which is never really a conspiracy. You You understand? It's never really a conspiracy. It's what's happening behind the scenes, behind the presidential elections and everything in terms of the governments. It's what's happening behind the scenes. Many people are confused how they're working for the government. They're working for the government and they're confused about what's going on. They're just following procedure. You understand? And the procedure of China, they're following their own procedure. America and everybody else is following the Rothschild family's procedure. Now this video is going viral. Do you understand? And listen, no matter what, you have to understand. I may get shot for this. I may get killed for this, for even speaking it up. You understand? And this video can even start World War III. You understand? It can start World War III. Once this is exposed, World War III can start. Do you understand? Why? Because I've exposed the Rothschild family and what's going on in the world. You have to realize now, as soon as China cuts off the bond market, America will attack China to kill them and their governments and destroy them. Do you understand? And the system. They're going to throw bombs at them. They're going to do everything they can to make sure that China is never more powerful than America. Why? Because you see why. It's a power game. It's a power game. Whoever has the most power dominates. And America never needs that. Why? Because who's behind America? America is the Rothschild family. It's never the people who are working in the government. The people of the government are following procedure through the system of the Rothschild family. You understand what's going on? So you have to realize the Rothschilds are behind all the conspiracy theories and all the government systems on the world except for China. Now China is the biggest power in the world as a country right now that is unrelated to the Rothschild family, because everybody else is a slave while China is the only independent country right now. Even though they are poor as a country, China's poor as a country. It's the most powerful one. Why? Because China is independent. China is never a slave to anybody. And the reason I say they're poor, because they have 1 billion people. China has 1 billion people. China has 1 billion people in the planet. And there's 7.6 billion people in the world. For every 7.6 people, for every 7 people, there's one China person. Let's just put it that way to make them round numbers. Understand? For every 4 people, there's one Asian person in the world. Now, you need to realize what's happening right here. So now, since this is all going on, there's a coronavirus going on, and it's never really a coronavirus. They're just blaming it on something that they never even see in life. They never even see what's going on. It's all got to do with the Rothschild family. Now, what's going to happen is, you can see Russia is on China's side. Why? Because Russia, I can see it already. President Putin never likes America. Let's just put it that way. Never likes America. China and America is close together. China and America are close together. They're bonding and they're doing business together. You understand? And then India is close to China. India and China are together. Russia and India are close together. Middle East is close to India. You understand? Middle East is close to China. Middle East is close to Russia. You understand? That's the middle ground. So when you look at the map, you'll see America over here, South America and Canada. It's all on the right side of the map. In the middle, you have Australia at the bottom, Antarctica at the further bottom, and then you have Indonesia, and then you have also Middle East, and then you have China, and then you have Russia at the top of the middle of the map. And you also have, for example, who else is in the middle? You have India, which is right next to China in the middle. Okay, so the middle countries of the world are Russia, China, India, Australia, Indonesia, Thailand, Bangkok, and also Japan, North Korea, South Korea. Now, from those middle countries in the world, Australia is in America's side. Why? Because when World War III starts, you have to understand, America, South America, and Australia are together in the war. Why? Because they are part of the Rothschild family. You understand? They believe in America. You understand why? South America believes in America. The neighbors. Australia believes in the American system. Which system? Which system is the American system? It's the Rothschild system. You understand? They're the Rothschild system. Now you'll be saying, why is Russia going to help China? Because I just see it. I just see that Russia needs to exert power as well. I see it. I see President Putin is just about to throw some bombs at America. You understand? I see it. I see it. You understand? Russia never loves to be a slave to anybody, believe me. So do you understand what's going on? China and Russia together. They're in union. The line is the borderline of China and Russia are together. So neighbors are going to help neighbors. Do you understand? And you have to realize India and China together, India and Russia together. So India and China make up 2 billion people of the world. Let's put it that way. And also, for example, Russia has around 180 million now in 2020. You understand? And you need to realize now what's happening. I'm more than numbers. You have to realize now that on the left side, you have South Africa and you have Africa. You have Africa. Africa's got nothing to do with this. Africa's staying out of the World War III. Understand? There's going to be a World War III. You understand that? There's going to be World War III because how long can this drag on? How long is China going to have no power for? You can see China's going to have power. China right now is exerting power over the world. You have to understand that. There's going to be a World War III and you need to prepare now. You understand? You need to prepare now. I see it. I see it. I believe it. I believe in me. You understand? Now, Africa has got nothing to do with this, even though they are slaves to the Rothschild family. Africa has got nothing to do with this in the World War III. You understand? So that's one of the safe places to go in the World War III. Now listen to me now. Europe, some parts of Europe, such as France, Italy, Portugal, Germany, Hungary, are in America's team. You understand? They're in America's. Europe is with America. Do you understand? Europe is with America. You have to understand that. Europe is owned by the Rothschild family in terms of finances and the government systems of whatever's happening. Yeah, because the Rothschild family owns the banks of the Europe. You understand? You have to see that. You have to see that. So what's happening now? Those 5 countries, Portugal, Spain, France, Italy, Hungary, Austria, are possibly, are really in the World War III also. You understand? Why? Because those countries, those 6 countries, are with America, South America, and Australia, and United Kingdom as well. They're all together. So what's close to Europe in the world? Now, on the left side on the map, you have Africa, and at the top, you have Europe. That's it. So on the left side, you have Europe, and you have Africa. In the middle, you have Russia, India, Indonesia, Australia, and China. And also Japan, North Korea, South Korea in the middle. And it's also, on the right side, you have America and South America, and that's it. In South America, you have Brazil. You understand? Which is against, for example, against China. You understand? Now, realize this now. There's going to be a World War III. And now, China, India, Russia, Middle Eastern countries such as Pakistan, Uzbekistan, and Saudi Arabia. There is also Uzbekistan, all those countries, and also Kazakhstan, and there is all these star names in terms of countries. And for example, there's also, I find it funny, it's funny for me. And there's also, for example, some other parts of those countries, and also India, China, Russia, all together, and the Middle Eastern countries are together, all in the World War. Understand? So in the World War III, Russia, China, India, Saudi Arabia, and the Middle Eastern countries are together in this. In the World War III. This is happening now. They're together. They're neighbors. They're all neighbors. Middle East is close to Middle Eastern countries, such as Saudi Arabia, Pakistan, Uzbekistan, are all close to Russia. And also Ukraine. Ukraine is also inside Russia's side, believe me. Ukraine is close to Russia. Now, you have to realize now, with that said, Bulgaria also is another country that can get into the World War. Understand? For who? For America. Understand? Why? Because the Bank of Bulgaria is owned by the Rothschilds. I already said, no matter what, this is how power is becoming now really, really absurd now, what's happening in the world. You understand? It's really stupid. Now watch this now. And you have to realize that the countries that are together in terms of Rothschild family is Australia, South America, America, the Europe countries, in terms of 5 of those countries, and Australia. So Australia, Europe, 5 of those countries, 6 of those countries in Europe, America and South America and Canada all together. You understand what's happening? Now, you have to realize that Europe is right close to Russia and right close to the Middle Eastern countries. And while America is on the other side. So guess what? America's going to have to fly. You understand? America's going to have to fly. You understand? Because by boat, it can happen also. It can happen that they travel by boat. It may take a few months. You understand? And travel by foot. You understand? And now realize this, that no matter what, Europe also can travel by foot into Russia and can travel into foot by, with themselves, they can travel into the countries such as Russia and India and also China by foot. Yeah, because it's all connected. And they can also fly. So you have to realize now what's happening or where it's going to start. It's going to start in the middle. It's going to start, China's in the middle. China's the heart of the world now. So you have to realize now what's happening. New Zealand is also in Australia's team, which is America's team, because New Zealand follows Australia, Australia follows America. So they'll say, oh, just go for America. Why? I'm in Australia right now. I'm in Perth. So Perth, so what are the safe places in World War III right now? Indonesia, Philippines, there is also Indonesia, there is, for example, Thailand, Bangkok. These areas, why? And also the Solomon Islands and America, South Africa also, all the way at the bottom of the spectrum in Africa, all safe countries for you to be in World War III. Right now. You understand? Right now. Because why? Also Perth, some areas in Perth are going to be much more safe. You understand? You can go in the outer west, outer east, somewhere in bush territory, be in bush territories, you understand? Where there is no cities around in terms of World War III. Do you understand? I'm preparing for this now. You understand what's happening? Because over the long term, you have to see that China is going to gain power over the world. You just see it, and you just understand that. Because I already said, 99% of the world is governed by the Rothschild family. 99% of the world is governed by the Rothschild family. So another safe place to go in terms of World War III is, for example, Fiji, Samoa and Tonga. You can go there. You understand? Never go to Hawaii and Tahiti because that's close to America. You understand? Just never go there. In terms of when it's the World War III. You understand? Now realize this, no matter what. In terms of what's happening now, there's a coronavirus going on and it's really a stock market crash. You understand? It's really a stock market crash and it's what's going on behind the scenes now. Now since this is happening, you have to realize what's going on. And as soon as China says no more, we will give you money for your stock market, guess what? America, I promise you, is going to start World War III. America is going to start World War III. Why? Who's behind America? Never America, never the people who are working in America in the 9-to-5 job. They're never starting the war. It's the Rothschilds who start the wars. World War I, World War II, World War III has everything to do with the Rothschild family. You understand? For example, when Gavrilo Princip, who is Serbian, a person who's Serbian, shot the king of Hungary, the king of Austria and Germany. You understand? What happened? Why did he shoot the Hungarian and Austrian and German king? Why? Why did a Serbian person do that? Because the Serbian person seen that no matter what, something was never supposed to happen. You were never supposed to shoot that person in the first place. But guess what? Gavrilo Princip, his name, took a stand and shot those people, the king of those countries. You understand? And who is behind those countries? The Rothschilds. You understand what's happening? So Gavrilo Princip took a stand. And guess what happened? Hitler was told by Rothschilds to go massacre Serbia. This is history. You understand? This is history now. And guess what? Tens of millions of people in Serbia were slaughtered by Hitler. You understand what that means? Who was behind Hitler? The Rothschild family. Do you understand? And also Germany, and tens of millions of people were persuaded by Hitler to go and do this. Why? Because the Rothschild family is behind what's going on. Now, you can see the violence is never the solution in the first place. So what do you do? What do you do in this situation? You have to learn history a bit first. Now, then the World War II started. For some other reasons. Whatever happened in the World War II, you have to realize it's behind the Rothschild family also. Because look at World War III. Why is World War III starting now? Because of the same position. It's the same resolution. What is it? It's that the Rothschild family is exerting control over the world. You understand? And those countries that fought and took a stand became world wars before in the world. You understand? So for example, when Serbia and Gavrilo Princip took a stand, guess what? 10 millions of people in Serbia were crucified. And then what happened in the World War II, I have to learn my history also, but no matter what, you have to realize, I see the history. I see the history. No matter what, I see it. The World War III has got to do with the Rothschild family. It also has to do with number one. I see that. I see it's behind the Rothschild family. And also Jesus, when Jesus was crucified, has got to do with the Rothschild family. Also the emperor, you understand? Who crucified Jesus for what is. It just makes sense. I realize World War II is also countries that are trying to exert power over the world. You understand? And now in World War II, there was much more confusion going on. It was for the same reason. World War I is for the same reason. And you understand that? World War I happened for the same reason that World War III will happen. World War II happened for the same reason that World War III will happen. Because of the stock market. The stock market has been all since the Jesus times. And I seen a quote that said, if you placed 1 cent, by Brian Tracy said it. If you place one cent in the stock market in Jesus times, and you just let it roll over 11% every single year, you'd be a multi-trillionaire today. 1 cent. Over those times, you'd be a trillionaire. Why? Because compound interest works the most powerful in terms of the universe, as Albert Einstein says. Now realize now what's happening. Now, in terms of now what's going on around the world, you can see that China is going to cut the line. They're going to cut the line. And now China's holding the world together. China's holding the world together. So as soon as China cuts the rope, which they will cut the rope. Do you understand? They'll cut the rope. They'll cut the rope and they'll say, no more are we slaves to you. Why? Because China is saying we need to exert power and we need to become more and more powerful country now because America is taking us down. Why is America the most powerful country in the world? Because of China. Because of China. As soon as China cuts the rope, China is the most powerful country. And then guess what? That's when World War III starts. Over power. Do you understand? So as soon as what's happening now is going to happen. It's going to happen. I promise you, there's a World War III coming in the next 20 years. In the next 20 years, prepare for it right now. I promise you. Now guess what? This video, as soon as it goes viral, behind what's happening, do you understand? It's also going to start World War III. It's going to start World War III too. Am I proud of it? No. But guess what? When's the best time to expose this information? Now. Now's the time. When? Now. There's no such thing as delaying. Let's never delay it now. Let's rule over the Rothschild family. And guess what? I may even get assassinated for this. Such as Jesus did. Such as Martin Luther King did, and John F. Kennedy, and also Mahatma Gandhi. Do you understand? Those people stood up for more position in life. As soon as you stand up for more position, the Rothschild family will see you in the spotlight. Yeah. The Rothschild family seen them in the spotlight. They shot him. What do they all have in common? They're all assassinated. Killed for what reason? For what reason? They were peaceful people. Peaceful people, do you understand? It's no conspiracy. Now guess what? Now since the coronavirus is the trend today, people have closed the airports. So where you are now, imagine World War III started now. Because it will start now. You'll be stuck in your area. Guess what? Make sure you go for cover. Go for cover and make sure that you go into the bushes somewhere. Go and camp in the bushes and make sure that no matter what, you have food prepared for yourself. Get yourself legumes, get yourself soy milk products. Make sure that you get yourself high plant protein products such as legumes. Get the lentils, get the chickpeas, get the beans. Go all the way. Get the soy milk as much as you can. Get the tofu as much as you can. Those are going to help you to prepare for what's going on. Now, realize this, guys. I'm just a spokesperson. You understand? I'm just a person that has connected the dots, and I can see what's happening. It's very easy for how I said it in terms of this video. It's very easy how I said everything in terms of this video. You have to realize what happened in my life. I was a person who suffered for 10 years. I'm a person who, no matter what, I see and I studied these people, and I studied the World War, and I studied everything that's going on in which of what I've said right now. Now, in terms of the stock market, you have to realize what's happening. Many people are throwing money into the stock market. Where are they throwing the money in? Including China. They're throwing into the bond market. The bond market is the stock market. The bond market is a stock. The bond market is a share. A share is a bond. A share is a stock. A bond is a share. A bond is a stock. Do you understand? It's all the same. A mutual fund is a bond. A mutual fund is a stock. A mutual fund is a share. It's all different terms. It's all fake news. It's all speculation. It's all rubbish. It's a paper. It's a paper. It's a Wall Street paper. Wall Street is a government paper. Is a banking paper. Is a financial statement. It's all got to do with the Rothschild family's paper, which they signed a lie to take over the world. It's a lie. You understand? And with the money, they use the money to make sure that they have everything that you see today. You understand? Everything that you see today. Who made everything that you see today? In terms of money. Money power went to the Rothschild family. The Rothschild family, now you have to realize, the Rothschild family owns all the governments of the world except for China. And in terms of financial economics we're talking about now. You understand? Listen, this is honest. We're talking financial economics now, never the World War now. We're talking financial economics and where the money's going. The money now, you have to realize the stock market over time is going 11%. Why? This is why. Because what's happening is it fluctuates. The stock market fluctuates. And many people, financial advisors, are going to say, this number has to reach this number for you to place some money and so that you can buy and so that it can increase your money. Now that's bullshit. That's gambling. You understand? Many financial advisors, all of them, I promise you, all of them, including Warren Buffett, have no idea what they're talking about in terms of the financial stock market. I never care how financially rich Warren Buffett received in terms of his efforts inside the stock market. Do you understand what the stock market is? As soon as you place your stock market exchange and your money inside the stock market, you give it to the Rothschild family. So guess what? Warren Buffett is a person I do admire. I do admire Warren Buffett. You understand? I've got nothing against Warren Buffett. You understand? Warren Buffett is against Wall Street. When you're against Wall Street, you're against the Rothschild family. You understand? So what Warren Buffett done, he went and educated himself. He went and educated himself and said, hey, there's a system that I can use to become more financially free inside the stock market. And he done it. He done it, honestly. He done it. And he wrote a book about it and everything. He's given information. But guess what? Until you read that, until you learn the key essentials of Warren Buffett and what's happening, you will lose so much in the stock market. And please, 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 never even invest your money in the stock market in the first place. Never do the gambling. Why? Because the stock market fluctuates. It's going to ruin your health. It's going to ruin your self-esteem. It's going to make you broke. It's going to make you financially poor. And never listen to any stock market guru or in terms of financial IQ, stock market exchange financial advisor who loves the stock market. Never listen to them, please. None of them. None of them. Listen to nobody. Robert Kiyosaki is a person that you can listen to in terms of what's going on. You understand? He can update you on the world events. You understand? Because Robert Kiyosaki is a Rich Dad Poor Dad author. So he's an author who wrote the Rich Dad Poor Dad series. And now that's a financial education system where Robert Kiyosaki went and learned all the financial cues of what was going on in and around the world in history, in financial terms, and right now, what's going on around the world. And I promise you, Robert Kiyosaki has received that information through Rich Dad, who is his rich dad. You understand? And Robert Kiyosaki has a rich dad and has a poor dad, which is why his book is called Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Now, Rich Dad, Poor Dad is a book about where Robert Kiyosaki grew up believing in two dads. You understand? And he was never really believing in two dads. He was finding out the information of his rich dad, who was his other dad, which he calls his rich dad, who was really financially literate. And also his poor dad, who was working inside the government, who was working for the Rothschild family. You understand? His poor dad was working for the Rothschild family. You understand? And you have to realize his rich dad is against the Rothschild family. And now realize, no matter what, Robert Kiyosaki will take you on a journey where he can actually speak about the actual story behind what's going on. And this is the story. Do you understand? Now you have to realize, you can still realize now that Robert Kiyosaki is going to teach you lots more about what's going on in the world. You understand? In the world today. He's going to update you every single day. I suggest you do always go to Robert Kiyosaki and read his books also. Why? Why not? Why not? Go read his book and go see what it's about. You understand? And now it's about everything I'm saying right here. It's about everything. You understand? About in financial terms. He's going to teach you the more theories are behind financial IQ. It's very important. You still need the book. Even though I said that you still need the book, this is one part of the information that's going to lead you. All of Rich Dad, Poor Dad series books is going to lead you to this moment. You understand? And what's going on. So I'm just a person who is a spokesperson who's really researched the area of finance and life to be able to speak this right now. And I've connected the dots, as Vishen Lakiani said. He said, connect the dots around you. That's what I've been doing. You understand? No matter what. And now, financial terms. Let's speak financial terms now. How to Rothschilds. You understand? Because Rothschilds are all financial. You understand? And history. And economy. And also government systems. And banking systems. That's the Rothschild family. Education systems. Everything to do with laws. You understand? Guess who the police work for? The police work for the Rothschilds. You understand? All the police, all the 9-to-5ers, guess who they work for in life? They work for the Rothschild family. The 9-to-5ers in China work for their own government system, and over there they're having a much greater time than everywhere else. You understand? Or are they really? No. Even in China they have to work. You understand? It's a really poor country over there. Their economy is far greater than everybody else's. You understand? Why? Because no matter what, you have to realize, even though China's poor and 1 billion people in the planet, in terms of Chinese, in China right now, you have to realize what's happening. China is its own economy. That's the best economy right now. When you have your own economy, you rule. You have power. When you are ruled by other countries, such as America, which dominates every freaking country in the world, you understand? Now, you have to realize, you can say the word freaking. Never swear, guys. I never love to swear. Now, realize no matter what, Australia is dominated by America. Australia says no to America, Australia will get bombed by America. Do you understand? Yeah. And look how big America is to Australia. Australia has 24 million people. America has 350 million people. So America leads in terms of people, population, in terms of money and dominance over everybody else, because who's behind? Who's behind America? Which is Rothschilds. Now I'll explain more. You understand? I'm the spokesperson. I may even get assassinated for this. And say if I do get assassinated, I may get assassinated. You understand? I may. Honestly, it makes common sense though. Do you understand? Now you have to realize, America is behind everything going on. Conspiracy theories, whatever. You understand? There's no such thing as cybernet and some gangsters who have done this. You understand? No. You can look at those gangsters and rappers and those people who have been talking around the area about conspiracy theories and Illuminati. Illuminati is a conspiracy theory. Illuminati is the Rothschild family. Understand? There's a person who his name is, for example, named himself Eddie Illuminati. Understand? I remember. Now you have to realize, Illuminati is a conspiracy theory. Now conspiracy theory is the Rothschilds. Understand? Everything that's Illuminati today, everything that, whoa, what's going on? How can Donald Trump be in The Simpsons and then be the president 14 years later when it was in the Simpsons. It was set up. It was set up by the Rothschilds. It's Illuminati. Illuminati is the Rothschilds. I'm not the Rothschilds. I'm not Illuminati. I'm truth, baby. Understand? I'm truth. I'll expose the truth. And guess what? Those people who did get assassinated exposed the truth. Jesus, Mahatma Gandhi, Martin Luther King Jr., and also John F. Kennedy all spoke the truth, and they were assassinated for doing it. They were assassinated for speaking the truth. You understand? Now Gavrilo Princip, who was a Serbian, spoke up also in the manner that he was never supposed to. You understand? He spoke up. Yeah, he spoke up. You understand? He took a stand. It was just not it was never the type of stand he was supposed to do. You're never supposed to cause violence over it. Now that's where Mahatma Gandhi would say, hey, let's build a peaceful environment over here. And he was assassinated. Why? Because he spoke up to say, let's create a bigger, nice, beautiful place around here. Very beautiful man. Very beautiful man. You see him, who is he gonna hurt? He will never hurt a fly, that person. He's a vegan as well. You understand? You have to realize what's happening. Now, guess what? The veganism is another subject that we can talk about here. Guess what? Who is behind the vegans? Now, obviously vegans are people who are, let's say, staying away. For example, they're staying away from eating meat. Do you understand? And there is an organization, 1% of the world, is now educating people on veganism, which is a self-education theory. It's self-education. You understand? This is what I'm doing now. I'm a vegan. I'm one of those vegans who is exposing what is happening behind the scenes also in terms of animals getting killed. Who is killing the animals? Who is killing those non-human animals? The Rothschilds. Do you understand? The Rothschilds are killing those animals. And who is sending all the meat everywhere? To all the governments, all the supermarkets? Who's running the supermarkets of everywhere? The Rothschilds. The Rothschilds. So guess what the Rothschilds are doing? They're slaying 200 billion animals right now. Do you understand? They're slaying 200 billion non-human animals right now. Why? Why? So they can feed themselves. Do you understand? So they can feed themselves. You have to realize the Rothschild family eats meat. You understand? I can see it. I can see it. Can you see it? And I predict also, I see that the Rothschild family in America, where would they go? Where would they go? Where would they be? They'll be somewhere in the middle of America. You understand? They'd be quiet. They'd be underscore. They have fake names right now. They have fake names. Do you understand? The people who have fake names. For example, Satoshi. Satoshi's really, guess what? Nobody knows who Satoshi is. Do you think it's a conspiracy? Never think about it. It's the Rothschilds. They named themselves Satoshi. Guess what? I'll show you something more. Watch this. For example, with Rothschild family, they'd be disguised. Guess what? They're living in separate houses, average. They're disguised fully. You understand? They're having sex with themselves. They're making babies for themselves within the family. They're never exposing their family anywhere. They may walk around as average, or just say original human beings around here that you see. They just disguise themselves. They just walk in perf. Nobody will see who they are. Understand? They're just spies, and they're just looking. Understand? They're quiet. Understand? They're just somewhere in the middle somewhere of America right now, in Texas, somewhere in the farm areas. Understand? Where there's no people. Understand? Why? Get away from the people in the first place. Yeah? Get away from the people. Why? Because when you're around the people, guess what happens? You become the people. You understand? You become the people. You become unoriginal. Go somewhere. Go away from the crowd. Have you ever heard, for example, the term said that never be with the crowd. Get away from the crowd. Yeah. The Rothschilds are away from the crowd. When the World War III starts, guess where they're going? They're flying to a remote island. Yeah, they're going to a remote island. Guess what? They got the money. While the World War III happens, everything will be closed off. Australia's states such as New South Wales, Queensland, which is all states, will be closed off. The airports will be closed off. Why? And then, boom. You can never even leave your country. You understand? I guess what they're going to do? They're going to leave the country regardless. They're going to leave America in World War III. Understand? They're going to leave. Why? Because they have the money. They have their own pilot. I'll give you money. Take me to a remote island right now. You understand? And then they get to the remote island. Very important person. This person. Do you understand? Oh, very important person. Please over here. We'll give you some money. Don't worry. Don't even say that. They'll set it up. Do you understand? Where they're going? Remote island. They're going somewhere away from the. They're going somewhere in these countries. Indonesia, some country in a remote island. Do you understand? What's happening? Hello, boss. How are you? Thank you. And you have to realize what's happening right now. You understand? Why do I speak this? Just so you can get an idea of where they may go. Those people. You understand? Because I'm against the Wall Street, just as Warren Buffett is, just as Mahatma Gandhi is, just as Jesus and Martin Luther King and also John F. Kennedy is, and Gavrilo Princip. You understand? Now Gavrilo Princip, yes, he made a mistake. Let's put it that way. All the other ones, no. You understand? Now Gavrilo Princip is a person who committed suicide. He was shot. He was shot by the Nazis. Do you understand? They found him. You understand? He was Serbian. Serbian people started World War I. And guess what? I'm Serbian Croatian. Guess what? Once this video is exposed, I'm Serbian Croatian. Once this video exposed, World War III starting. Either way, with or without me. Let's expose it now. I'm always with me. You understand? Do I relate with Gavrilo Princip? No, I'll never kill anybody. You understand? Now guess what? I see Mahatma Gandhi saying, "Hey, no, let's speak up." And then what the Rothschilds point a gun at the guy, assassinated him. Why? Do you understand? Because he spoke up. He was a leader. And leaders, as soon as you're in the spotlight, because Mahatma Gandhi is well known around the world. Well known. Famous for making India independent. Famous. As soon as you're famous, that's when the Rothschilds can see you. Now, guess what? I've laid low. I've laid low at the moment. I've laid low for the next few years until the people can see me and who I am. Do you understand? And what's going on? And then once I'm raised to be famous, you understand? I'm famous already. You have to understand. And then once in the spotlight where they can see me, they will find somebody, assassinator, to come assassinate me. Do you understand what's happening? I never care. I never care. Come and kill me. You understand? I don't care. I never care about them. I'm better than not. Now, as soon as you step up, that's what I'm saying. As soon as you step up, for example, look at Tony Robbins. Tony Robbins is a person who never even knows about this. Now, he's eyeing this out now. He's eyeing what's going on. He's looking at the stock market. Grant Cardone is someone very funny right now. It's very funny. I'll explain a story about Grant Cardone right now because I followed the guy and I really went in the ins and outs of him. Understand? And what's happening is he has 8,000 units right now. He has 8,000 units. They said, and he has investors. He owes $1 billion to the bank. Who does he owe $1 billion to? He owes $1 billion to Rothschilds. Yeah, now listen. Now, for example, Grant Cardone is a person who owns $2 billion in real estate right now. $2 billion. And now Google says he owns around 350 million in net worth. Now, never believe in Google Trends and how much people have net worth in Google because it's outdated. That's how I see it. No matter what, you have to realize now, because Grant Cardone is against Wall Street, Grant Cardone is right now in miserable mode. He's really miserable about what's going on because he's really stranded right now in his apartment where he is, while his wife is somewhere else. Understand? And he's with his daughter, and his wife is with his other daughter. Now, the reason I find Grant Cardone so funny is because the guy is against Wall Street, and once World War III starts, what's happening to his 8,000 real estates? And guess what? Like what? You have to realize now what's happening. Grant Cardone is someone who walked real estate totally. They say he walked real estate. This guy, for over 30 years, he's been eyeing out real estate for 30 years. And I see his Instagram. He's like, yeah, this one here. The guy's a gangster. Yeah? The guy's the real deal. You understand? And because America is getting into World War III, his real estate, which are premium deals, they're the best deals. You understand? May get bombarded by the World War III, And because World War III happens, guess what? He loses money. The guy loses money. Do you understand? So when World War III happens, who's giving him rent? Who's giving him rent after 30 years of looking at all this real estate? You're killing 8,000 real estates, bro. All for what? He'll be stuck in one area. He can never even fly his jet. He has got a jet. He can't even fly his jet anywhere. Hey, you have to realize what's happening. And then guess what? Because he borrowed the money, he's going bankrupt. You understand? He's going bankrupt. Yeah, you accumulated all this real estate over 30 years to get bankrupt. And the funniest thing is, the funniest experience is, he's keeping his investors saying everything's good. You understand? Because Grant Cardone, he has investors in his real estate deals. And he has a Grant Cardone Capital Fund. Now, in his Grant Cardone Capital Fund, he owns 93% of it, and 7% of it he gives. The same as the Rothschild family gives to everybody else, he gives the same thing. He just does it in his own capital fund. You understand? Now realize what's happening now. With Grant Cardone, with his capital fund, he will give you far more than Rothschild family will. You understand? Now, in terms of what's happening in terms of Wall Street, you have to realize Wall Street is Rothschilds. Now, that paper, you have to realize, is fake. It's a fake paper that the Wall Street will give you. They'll say, we'll give you an 8% return on this amount of money. Now you have to realize what's happening. Grant Cardone is a funny person, as he has these investors with him, and since World War III will happen, he'll be closed down. His real estate's losing money in the long run. Now, is it funny? Is it funny what's going on around the World War III? Never really funny. They're saying it's never really funny. It's just funny because he works so much for this money. They're saying he works so much. He worked his heart out to really walk real estate, and he also, this is why I explain Grant Cardone, because he's one of my inspirations. I admire the guy, and he has a book called Real Estate Made Simple. You understand? And in that book, he talks about real estate, how he walked it, and all the deals that you can really help yourself with. You understand? And he gives it for free. The book. Nobody has the money today to really afford Grant Cardone. And when you see the economy of what's going on around the world, 99% of the world can never even afford me in terms of my coaching, and in terms of even giving me $7.20 for my videos and for a month. They can never afford it. You understand? I see the world's poor. The world is poor. You understand? So guess what? I lift myself and I say, hey, it's not even about the money anymore. You're saying it's not even about the money. Let me just work for free. Let me just lift people up the way Mahatma Gandhi did, the way Jesus did, the way Martin Luther King did, the way John F. Kennedy did. The way those guys did, the way John F. Kennedy did. What did they do? They did it for free. You understand? They did it for free, but for freedom. Now that's the American dream. Listen, do you understand? That's everybody's dream. So just make sure no matter what, you're living the life. You're living the life and you're lifting others up. You understand? As soon as you lift others up, someone points a gun in your head and shoots you. The Rothschild family. You understand? And now let's go to Grant Cardone. Now with Grant Cardone, the guy is giving it up for free, his real estate deals, and yes, he's selling his courses. He has a self-education course as well, and yes, he's making money. How's he really making money? He's making money in real estate. You understand? He's making money in real estate, and 1% of the people who own real estate are out of the 9-to-5 job. And now Grant Cardone is somebody who can actually teach you real estate. You understand? He can teach you real estate for free. Just go and grab his book for $5. He's really the real deal. And now realize his $2 billion net worth is sitting right now. Right now, his $2 billion net worth is riding. And guess what? No matter what, he's saying to investors, yes, everything's good. He's worried. He's so worried. You understand? I'll never be worried. I will see what's happening. I would say, hey, at least I have my health. At least I have my health. My health is the most important. and I have a wife, I have kids, he has 2 kids. No matter what, you have to realize that that's his life. You understand? That's the real life. You understand? Have yourself a spouse, have yourself kids. You understand? Never worry about financial aspects. Because guys, no matter what, you can see Grant Cardone has worked for over 30 years for 8,000 units to accumulate $2 billion in net worth, to have $1 billion in debt with the banks. The banks are with the Rothschild family. You understand? And guess what? Grant Cardone never invests in the stock market. He has a Bitcoin here and there. He invested to speculate and to really, he goes and speculates. You understand? He goes and speculates. He goes to see what's happening in the stock market, and he follows all the news trends. You understand? So I get my information from Grant Cardone, and I get my information from Robert Kiyosaki, because that's what they're doing. So I never go into the stock market and I'll go see what's there. I never care about that, because Grant Cardone and Robert Kiyosaki are doing it for me. You understand? So you have to realize you can go to those people, you can trust them. You can trust them. They'll lead you into a better way of life. You understand? So the reason I say with Grant Cardone is just what's happening now at World War III, he's going to lose all that real estate. You understand? He's going to lose. Now, no matter what, the real estate is his forever. You understand? It's his forever. Now, he's going to go bankrupt. He's going bankrupt. And he's keeping everybody at bay in terms of life, in terms of, he's never really keeping anybody at bay. It's just what's happening around the world. And his investors invested in him, and his investors have no idea, in a sense. So what's happening now is Grant Cardone is worried, and I understand him, and I feel compassion for Grant Cardone. And no matter what, you have to realize that you need to be someone who really, really sees what Grant Cardone is doing. The guy, he just put his whole effort in. He put his whole effort in. He worked for it. He worked for every single dollar he had. He worked for it. Do you understand how he worked for it? He was a salesperson. He grew up as a salesperson. He grew up as a salesperson. You understand? He made his own money. He had to work a 9-to-5 job inside of the Rothschilds organization, which is the 9-to-5 system, and he had to go make it from scratch. Nobody got that $8,000 real estate for him. And now you're going to have to do the same thing, no matter what. You're going to have to do the same thing. That's what I'm saying. Go to Grant Cardone for the information now. And since he works for every single dollar, you can see his $2 billion net worth is riding right now on his investors. Because as soon as his investors pull out from the deal and they see that the World War III will happen, and they see this video, Grant Cardone's screwed. Grant Cardone's screwed anyway. You understand? So no matter what, Grant Cardone is keeping them at bay. You understand? He's keeping them, let's say, he's just, what can you do? What would you say? What would you say in that position? I'll be saying everything's good, yeah. Everything is good. It's always good. Everything is always good. Now what happens in the world around us, you have to realize now. World War III is happening, and now Grant Cardone is never a liar. He's never lying. He's never lying about what he's just protecting himself. He's protecting his family. You understand? I respect that. I see that totally. And the guy has $2 billion net worth. You understand? And now that $2 billion net worth, he's put everything into it. He has $1 billion with the bank. $1 billion with the bank, and he has investors in his real estate. And guess what? Do you see the IQ there? Do you see the financial IQ there? What is he really doing there? Wait, this is amazing what I'm teaching you now. I'm teaching you now. He has $1 billion in debt. $1 billion in debt, and he has investors in his real estate. Now, with that, he's made a Grant Cardone capital fund where he returns a certain amount of interest inside his capital fund. So you give him $1 million, he'll give you 60 grand back every 10 years. You understand? That's how it works. Sorry. You give him $1 million, and he'll return you 60 grand every single year. You understand? He'll return you 60 grand. No harm done. And he's an honest person. I would invest $1 million with him right now. I would. I see his heart. I see who he is. You understand? Now I totally trust him. You understand? He'll never screw you over. You understand? Now Grant Cardone will far give you more than the Rothschilds ever will. You understand that? Grant Cardone is more than the Rothschilds. You have to realize that now. So what's happening now is people have invested with Grant Cardone, and you need to also. And realize now, no matter what, with that $1 billion that he owes it to Rothschilds, and also he's gaining cash flow from that every single year to make sure that he can stabilize himself and everything. So in this right here, you have to see, as soon as his investors pull back, he's lost his real estate, he's lost everything he ever has in terms of financial freedom. You understand? As soon as his investors say, hey, give me the money back now, he's lost. You understand? That's $2 billion net worth. It takes just that for him to lose everything. That's what I'm saying in this video. So that's balls. That's courage, baby. He's going for it. He's going for it. High five. Why not? Go for it. You understand? Go for it. And now listen, that's what you need to do. I see that. You have to go for it totally. You have to go for it. Because listen, his investors invested in him. You understand? And guess what? He owes the bank money. So once he, say his investors pull back and take his money, you understand? Then guess what? It hurts him. It hurts him, and he has to give the money back. It all collapses. It's all collapsed. He's no longer at the financial IQ he was. You understand? He's gone bankrupt. And so as long as he keeps it up and keeps adding to the tally of real estate and keeps going through the deals, guess what? World War III is coming. You understand? So guys, that's why I really had a great laugh. I had a great laugh because why? Because the guy works so smartly. You understand? And is it really smart to really laugh at that? Was I laughing at that? No. I was admiring. I was really admiring that. You understand? I was laughing in terms of what's going on and how much like the sky is falling. You understand? The sky is falling. And now I realize that no matter what, that's never even nice. It's never even nice to do that. You understand? I just realized no matter what, that when you laugh, it's just a smart ass anyway. You understand? When you're laughing, it's just a smart ass. So I never mean any harm done. I never mean any harm done. It's just what's going on around the world. And I realized that I've learned something from this video also. And I've taught you something along the way. And am I laughing now? No, I'm not laughing now. You can never just keep laughing. You can have a little laugh. Yes, I admire you for having a little laugh. Have a little laugh. Have a little laugh at what's happening. But guess what? I'm not gonna but. Just realize no matter what, it's never the way to go. In the long run. Short-term laughs, yes. When someone stacks it, you have a laugh. When you keep rambling on about it, hey, back off. Understand? Have a little joke. Have a little joke. That was a little joke I was doing. Understand? That's a smart ass in me. Now, I never mean any harm. I never mean any harm. Now, you have to realize, I've analyzed Grant Cardone and his life. You understand? And I'm saying his whole life, in terms of financial freedom, relies on his ability now to just manage his investors, to make sure that they never back out, to make sure that they are more confident in him to pull forward and to keep adding to the tally and making sure that he's always giving them money. That's it. And he's also managing his real estate deals, managing the tenants, making sure he just made a recent video. He said, you guys have to realize that the most three important aspects of real estate, he said, make sure that you are tending to your investors, those people who are actually giving you money, to go to real estate deals. He has investors who are giving him money to give him money. Understand? As I said, you give him $1 million, he'll give you 60 grand. Understand? That's the business. That's amazing business. He'll give you more money than Rothschilds. So realize that when you have $1 million in spare around, go and give it to Grant Cardone. He'll give it to you. Understand? Now, no matter what, you have to realize that's only when you have no real estate knowledge. Do that. You understand? When you have real estate knowledge, then forget about it. Just go your own real estate. And go walk the deals yourself. Because Grant Cardone says there are 3 ways to make real estate money. Do nothing. You understand? Now, listen to me. Do nothing, do it yourself, or go with Grant Cardone. You understand? That's what he said. That's what he said. Now, you have to realize, you understand that theory. You understand? Because when you do nothing, you never make the real estate. That's the point. Now, you have to realize, with what Grant Cardone said, he said, manage your tenants, manage your real estate. Manage the real estate, the actual real estate, that's the second one. And manage your investors. That's the most important 3 aspects of real estate forever. Forever, forever, forever. Manage your investors. Have investors investing in you. Make people trust you about real estate. Make sure you have a beautiful real estate deals. For example, as Grant Cardone says, he has premium deals. They are the best deals. Go check it out, grantcardone.com. Understand? Free promotion. Understand? Because I've learned so much. Now, no matter what, I see Grant Cardone and he says, have 8,000 real estates. Make sure no matter what, he has a real estate investing made simple actual channel in his YouTube account. He has 187 videos and he's adding more to the tally every single week. He does real estate deals in terms of real estate updates every single Monday, and he's always adding to his beautiful channel in YouTube. I'm not gay. Understand? Now realize, you have to realize from that, he'll teach you about real estate for the next 10 years. And since you're watching this video, you're already updated with what's going on. So thank you for watching. So no matter what, as you can see now, with Grant Cardone and what's happening, you have to realize to manage your investors, be trusted, make sure you're taking care of your real estate, take care of the 8,000 units or more. The more units you have, the more people will trust you with their money, and the more investors you have, such as Grant Cardone. Understand? So realize no matter what, Grant Cardone built that trust. How did he do it? How did he build the trust for other people to invest millions of dollars in him? He walked it. He walked the real estate. He wrote the book. He wrote the book. He had to do it. You understand? He had to do it. He had to do it. He had to go and search real estate. He had to go and look at real estate everywhere in terms of life. He had to look at it. Where is it? Where is it? What is the information that he needs? And he says, look at only premium deals. Make sure that you only invest in real estate that has 32 units or more. Because guys, he started off with 1 unit. And he said, no, that's not the way to go. And then he made many mistakes along the way. And he said, only 32 units or more can you ever make real estate money. You understand? So take that into consideration. 32 units and less, 31 units and less, never invest in those apartments. You understand? Because 32, and we are investing in units. And a unit is an apartment. You understand? So invest in 32 units. You understand? So 32 units is 32 apartments, 32 bedrooms. We're looking at bedrooms. You understand? So that's what Grant Cardone has. He has 8,000 bedrooms. In America, he has around 100 now where you can actually go and even invest $100,000 for 1 unit, and you can keep it for life for $100,000. You understand? He'll give it to you for $100,000. So if that helps, go do it. You understand? Then you have to realize, no matter what, whatever happens, you have to realize, never purchase real estate in the first place. Never invest in real estate. Never listen to me what I just said. You understand? Why? Because real estate, you have to rent it out. You need to realize you need to rent real estate. Never purchase anything. You understand? I'm saying this honestly. I'm saying this honestly. What I just said was just a test, just to see what was going on. Now, in real estate, listen. With that money, you have to realize you need to go and rent somewhere. Only for the rest of your life. Just rent. Why? Because the Rothschilds are working against you. Look at the banks. The banks today are doing these mortgage rates. They're doing these mortgage rates. Why? It's based on the Rothschild system. They'll give you a loan based on how much you have. Say $10,000 you have, they'll give you $100,000. And then guess what? You are in debt to Rothschilds. So mortgage rates are under the Rothschild family. Never be in the mortgage rates of life. Because once you purchase a home, and say you have a $50,000 deposit, you put a $50,000 deposit in it, the bank has stolen your money. They stole your money. They gave you a paper that Rothschild said, we'll give you this much money, and we'll give you the house, and it's your house. That's what they're saying. The banks are saying it's your house. That's a lie. That's what Robert Kiyosaki says as well. Understand? I credit Robert Kiyosaki for that information, and I can see that information too. And you have to understand. The banks will say, yeah, give us 50,000, we'll give you 500,000 for the house, and it's your house. It's never really your house. Why? Because you are forever indebted to repay and to refinance the. You understand? Because guess what? Next, you have to go to work in a 9 to 5. For how long? For 40, 60 years. To refinance that house that you just did in a mortgage rate. Is it worth it? No. And it's never even your house. Why? Because you never even refinanced it yourself. So guess how the rich get richer? The rich get richer through really, what are they doing? They're really using the bank's money, using the Rothschilds' money, which is what Grant Cardone's doing. You understand? And Grant Cardone is against Wall Street. Grant Cardone is against Wall Street, and he has no idea that he's against Rothschild family, and he's using Rothschild family money to make more real estate. Do you understand? I found that funny. Do you understand? And you have to realize, no matter what, that the rich get richer for being out of the 9 to 5. That's where I am. I'm out of the 9 to 5. I'm out of the rat race. I'm using the Rothschild's government money against it. You understand? Why? It just makes sense. You understand? And you have to realize what's happening now. People are working as slaves for Rothschilds. I'm never a slave. I'm never working for somebody else. A person who's in a restaurant, has their own restaurant, it's never their restaurant. What are they doing? They're refinancing that restaurant, they're paying rent for that restaurant. Understand? They're investing rent for that restaurant to keep it alive. It's never even their restaurant. They're just using the restaurant and they're using the customers to make more money. They're giving a service, they're refinancing the restaurant, refinancing whatever it is, and they're using the customers to keep it going and to make more money, and that's it. They're self-employed. They're in one area, they're in just one restaurant, and that's it. Those are those people. Those are self-employed, as Robert Kiyosaki says. Now, I already said we're going to speak more. We're speaking more finance now. Now, in financial terms, as soon as you invest in bond markets, stock markets, mutual funds, and shares, you have invested into Rothschild family, which is where Warren Buffett is, and Warren Buffett has made millions of dollars in that. And listen, you guys will never be Warren Buffett. You understand? I need you to be you. Never invest where Warren Buffett's investing. Realize that health is the real deal, as I say. You need more health. Because look at Grant Cardone. As soon as he loses, he will lose. You understand? He will lose his real estate. And Grant Cardone is 61 years old. Grant Cardone is 61 years old, do you understand? And over the next 20 years, guess what's happening? There's a world war going on. His net worth is going down. And that's a bad deal. Yes, that's a bad deal. That's evil. What's going on? Because the World War III. You understand? Now, that's never even Grant Cardone's fault. Grant Cardone gave everything he can, everything he could for that. And I respect that. I admire that. I really admire that. His devotion for 30 years. He's been doing real estate. He walked it. The same way I walk veganism is the same way Grant Cardone walks real estate. The same way. What do I have to do for veganism? I have to go to the supermarkets instead of the real estate. And I have to go walk and I have to see every single label. I have to see every single label and what's going on. Do you understand? I have to see every single label and learn the ins and outs of nutrition. Do you understand? And now, listen, we're speaking more about this now. How to Rothschilds. So realize now, since people are working for the government in the corporate ladder, they're working for the Rothschilds. The people in the bank and the slaves, in terms of who are working. Listen, we're never slaves, okay? We're never slaves. I'm better than okay. We're never slaves. It's just that Rothschilds has put a system there that's saying you must work the 9-to-5 job to make money. You understand? Otherwise, when you start printing your own money, you will be thrown in jail. And when you speak up the most, such as Jesus, Mahatma Gandhi, Martin Luther King, and John F. Kennedy, you'll be also assassinated. Why? Because the Rothschilds need to be in a position of power. They will go so far to even shoot you. You understand? Yeah, that's them. And they'll even bomb China. They'll make a World War III for it. You understand? That's how big it is. Now, we are bigger than World War IIIs. We are bigger than violence. Do you understand? And it's never the way to go. It's never the way to assassinate people. You understand? No matter what. Now, I may get assassinated for this. I never care. At least I represent something. What do I represent? The James Bond of growth, baby. I'm the James Bond of growth. I'm the person who grows people. That's it. I stand for growth. Mahatma Gandhi stands for peace. John F. Kennedy stands for leadership. Jesus stands for Holy Trinity. You understand? For the holy side, for God. You understand? For example, who else? There is also Martin Luther King for black equality. You understand? Those people died for that. You understand? When you remember those people, you remember why they died. You understand? Me, when I died for growth, baby. I died for a better world. I died for growth. You understand? Anything that's related to growth, I died for that. You understand? Now I realize, no matter what, I'm taking a risk here. I'm taking a risk. Am I taking a risk? I never care. I'm not taking any risks. I choose it now. I choose for them to kill me. I choose for them to kill me. I choose it. I already said it. You can see my expression right here. I may get assassinated, and I will keep speaking up. I'll keep speaking. I'll be the next Mahatma Gandhi who speaks up. Now, no matter what, I'm not Mahatma Gandhi. I'm the person who is the revolution of how Mahatma Gandhi was going up. You understand? And how those people who were assassinated were going up. I'm the same type of person who's going up. And guess what? Once they see me, woo! You understand? So no matter what, I'm never dying. I'm always here. I'm here for the next few years. 2020, 2023, I'm still here. Now you have to realize, as the rich get richer, the poor get poorer. That's the system today. You understand? So the system is today, the rich get richer, the poor get poorer. How did the rich get richer? The rich are getting richer because of the stock market. What is the stock market? The stock market is the Rothschilds. You understand? The stock market. So how are they really making money on the stock market? The stock market, this is how people make money in the stock market. In terms of just Rothschilds. You understand? And how people lose also. Watch this. So in terms of how people win in the stock market and how people lose, and especially right now, we're just going to speak about the Rothschilds. This Rothschilds is its own stock market. It's one stock market. It's just for it's made the stock market. When you hear the stock market, it's that line. Do you understand the fluctuates? When you see the Dow Jones and you see all these companies such as Coca-Cola and Nike and Adidas, and they're all in this stock market exchange and the cryptocurrencies and all of this. You understand? That's all got to do with. When you see the stock market, you see what it's got to do with. It has to do with Rothschilds. You understand? So when they're talking stock market, they're talking Rothschilds. You understand? And Grant Cardone's always studying the stock market, and Rothschilds, he just never has a clue about who's behind it. You understand? I see who's behind it. And I see even Robert Kiyosaki never knows who's behind it. You understand? Now you have to realize what's going on now. Now, since the government systems is all supported by Rothschilds, why? Because they're printing money from the banks. The banks and the government systems are working together. The banks are, let's say, printing money, and the governments are doing what the banks need. They're working together. For who? For Rothschilds. Where? For 99% of the world, except China. Do you understand? China, banks and government systems, they're working together for their own country. You understand? Everybody else is working for Rothschilds. That's why China is the most powerful country in the world now. Right now, they're the most powerful country. Now, I see it. You have to realize now what's happening now. Now, since the governments of Australia and all these countries that are run by the Rothschilds and printing money, all this kind of stuff, they dump it into the stock market. Where they're dumping it really? They're dumping it into the Rothschilds stock market system. Yeah. And guess what? That's why it goes up every year, no matter what. They're printing no money. The stock market's going to go up forever. Because why? It's the Rothschilds stock market system. You understand? That's why. Do you understand that? I can elaborate more. It's because no matter what, when you see the stock market, it's going up. When they pour money into the stock market goes up. And guess what they do? They pour money into the stock market any time of the year. At once. That's why you see, whoops, it skyrockets up. To equal 11% every year. Why? Because that 11% stands for every single year, Rothschilds are more powerful by 11%. It means every single year, 11% of the money in the world is being printed. That's what it means. Understand? That means the stock market, when it goes to 13%, for example, it's been over the course of 50 years, the stock market has gone up 11%. Which means the Rothschilds are getting more powerful and powerful in terms of financial freedom, in terms of finances, and power over people 11% each time, even more. Every single year. That's what it stands for. And guess what? Warren Buffett is standing against that. He's just his own person studying where all these companies are. And he's investing in Coca-Cola, he's investing in McDonald's, he's investing in all these businesses and deals. What's that? What is he really investing in? He's investing in portfolio income. Portfolio income has to do with shares, stock bonds, mutual funds, RIAs, has also to do with cryptocurrency and Bitcoin and all these crypto exchange companies. Now, I'll just show you this. Now, we have to speak more about this. There's more to be said. Now, you have to realize, with this said, with all that said, Warren Buffett is just doing his own thing. Is the guy healthy? No. He's never the richest man in the world. Who's the richest man in the world? The Rothschilds. Now, you'll see books where it says, Warren Buffett, the richest man in the world. They say in books, you'll find the books, you'll say the richest man in Babylon, or whatever. They call Warren Buffett the richest man in the world. Why? Because he beat the stock market. They're calling him rich in terms of finance only, never in terms of health. I have more health than the guy. I have more health than Warren Buffett. I have more richness than anybody who has more money and no health. Warren Buffett is overweight and obese. Warren Buffett eats meat. I'm richer. I'm a vegan. I have health. My richness is more than what Warren Buffett's is. We read a book. They call it, when they say the richest man or the richest woman in the world, how rich? For how? Health or finance? Because those people who have health have the ultimate richness. I promise you that. Grant Cardone has the ultimate richness in terms of health, in terms of his life. Now, in terms of my life, I'm the ultimate richness. You understand? I'm better than yesterday. Grant Cardone in his life, he's also, let's say, he's getting better. You understand? And now, Grant Cardone has health, and he may have a bit of alcohol. Now, I never accept a little bit of alcohol. You understand? I never accept that. Djokovic has a bit of alcohol. The people who are growing up, you understand? They have a bit of alcohol. I stay away from that. So I call them worse than yesterday. Because of that. Take away the alcohol, you're better than yesterday for me. Understand? Because guess what? When we were born as little babies, we never started drinking alcohol in the first place. So, guys, I stand for sobriety. I stand for veganism. That's me. You understand? Now, let's have a look. When this is what happened in terms of the Robert Kiyosaki stock market pondering, in terms of never pondering, it happened with his podcast. He said, I found out some information that's really important for this video. And he said that no matter what, I already said it in this video, that the governments are pouring the money. For example, they may be pouring $85 million a year, $85 million a month into the stock market. And suddenly, $1 trillion gets poured into the stock market to make it 11% for the year. At any time of the year. Then what's happening? It's fraud, as Robert Kiyosaki was saying. That's what I'm saying. That's where I found it, that information. How did I do that? Connect the dots, as Vishen Lakhiani said. So no matter what, I use my mentors, who is Vishen Lakhiani, and all these mentors that I have, I connect the dots. That's what I said earlier in the video. And you have to realize what's happening is the stock market will fluctuate. It's a fake game. It's a fake game. It's to confuse you. It's to confuse you. You understand? It's really to confuse you. Now, financial advisors will say, oh, you must wait until this, or whatever they're saying, that you must wait. They're looking by lines and autographs and all these graphs and materialistics in terms of life, and they're looking at the financial aspects and numbers in terms of stocks. There's nothing such thing. It's a computerized system just generating bullshit. Understand? It's a bullshit theory. Their numbers is a bullshit game. It's just set up for Rothschilds to just go up by 11% every single year, or more. Because guess what? They'll never go down. They'll go up. Understand? They'll go up more. So what the Rothschilds do is every year they see how much over the space of 50 years has the stock market risen, and what years. You understand? And they never care how many people lost their money in the stock market, because the stock market is for the Rothschilds. It's never for anybody else. You understand that? You understand what's happening right over here? The Rothschilds have set up a system that is only for them. It's never for anybody else. The stock market was never born and raised for the human people. You understand? Now listen, we're never even human people. We are something above this world. And you have to believe in that. You have to believe that we are the observers of our mind, and we must overcome our ego anyway. You understand? Now the biggest egotistical people I've ever seen in my life is the Rothschild family. Those people are run by their minds. Are they really? Yes, totally. They never even really live in life. So what's the game here? The game here. Let's overtake them. Let's overtake them. Let's make sure that they are nobodies in life. Now realize this. Now it's a big game that's happening. This is a big game. You understand? And as Eckhart Tolle says, they played a game which was called Lila. You understand? Lila. It's a God game. It's a divine game. You understand? Because we are above this world. You understand? No matter what, you die, you're going to a better world. Believe me. All these people have died. Jesus died. You have to realize there's a better world than this. So never be scared about the World War III. Never be scared about what's happening. You understand? Realize no matter what that we must speak up more. Speak up anyway. When they say Mallah Makba, what are they really doing? Huh? What are they really doing? They're speaking up. You understand? Speaking up for what? Terrorism? Now, you have to understand, they're speaking for freedom. They're really speaking for freedom, those people. Why would they commit suicide in the first place? Come on. You have to be free. Terrorism, guess what? It's all got to do with Rothschilds anyway. You understand? The 9/11 is from the Rothschilds. Yeah. The Rothschilds made that. Their own country, America, is the consequence of the 9/11. Is it a conspiracy? Why it happened? No. The Rothschilds did it. The Rothschilds have the money behind it. Do you understand? For example, with the stock market, you have to realize, we can speak a lot about this. You just have to realize, with the stock market, many people are placing money in the stock market. Traders, forex people, and financial advisors, or whatever. Those people, they're all placing money in the stock market themselves. And they're trying to be Warren Buffett. They're trying to invest what Warren Buffett's doing. And they're struggling. You understand? Tim Ferriss is my mentor. He has 99% of his $100 million in the stock market right now. He's losing that money right away. Why? Because the market fluctuates. When the market fluctuates, it goes down, you lose your money right away. Why would you even put your money in the first place in there? When the stock market goes down, which is set up for it to do so, you understand? It's the Rothschilds system. Those people who place money in the stock market for the long term lose their money all the time. Why? It fluctuates. I said already, it fluctuates so much. Now, I'm not getting angry. I'm just really dealing it to amp it up in the mind of where you are. You understand? Now you have to realize, your mind is never your mind. You're never your thoughts. You are never your ego. Your ego is your mind. You are the observer of your mind. You are something behind the mind. There are two thinkers, as Eckhart Tolle says. Eckhart Tolle says there is a thinker and there is an observer of the mind. Read about the observer of the mind in Google and read about Eckhart Tolle and what he's saying. Understand? Eckhart Tolle is a spiritual teacher. He'll teach you about the observing of the mind, being the person behind the thinker. Now, you're never the person behind the thinker. Sorry, I'm never the thinker. I am never the mind. I'm never the ego. I'm the observer of the mind. I'm behind the mind. You have to realize what I just did. I just almost identified myself as the thinker. You understand? I just had to go back on that. You understand? That's how smart I am. Now realize, no matter what, never identify who is behind the thinker. Never identify that person, otherwise you identified yourself as the mind. You understand? Now you're the observer of the mind. You can see the mind. You can never detail who that is in terms of who's observing the mind. You can never detail that. You can never say anything about that. Just observe. Just look at the mind. That's what Eckhart Tolle is saying. And Osho is another spiritual teacher of mine. He died around 54. Now I'm a person who lives always. You understand? I'm always living, and I'm living above 54. Why? I just love to be positive. Now Osho will teach you contradiction. Go back on your words. Make sure you're growing. Learn from your mistakes. Go and learn from Osho as well. He's a spiritual teacher. Now realize, no matter what, as people are throwing money into the stock market, they're getting confused about these numbers. And there's, why does this go up this way, and why is it going up down no way? And why is it going 5 points up and 10 points down and 5, 6 up? And why is it going 1 month 500 and then the second month 300? It's too much psychological damage. That's what Tim Ferriss said. Tim Ferriss said that. He's aware of it. Now what Tim Ferriss is doing is, Tim Ferriss is going to real estate. He says he has to go in real estate because 99% of his money is in the stock market. You understand? So real estate is the way to go, and that's why I'm saying go and study from Grant Cardone right now. So realize now, this is important for finance. You understand? It's all important for you to realize what's happening in the economy today and who's behind it. The Rothschilds and China. China has got nothing to do with the Rothschilds. Just remember that. They're the own economic system, but also you have to realize what they're doing. And you have to realize and study their system too. And now study the economic system of China. But realize, study everything in terms of finance. Finance is always going to be finance. You understand? The more you study finance, the better you are. In terms of finance only. What solves finance? Health does, as I said. I say that. What solves finance? Health does. Danny Milivojevic, quote me. Because guess what? Once Grant Cardone and people lose money in the stock market and with real estate because of the World War III, you realize all you have is your health and your family. You understand? That's why. That's why I say health will solve all your issues in life. Health is wealth. When you have your health, you're never going down. You always live more. When you have finances and you have no health, and your finances get crushed by the stock market, by the Rothschilds, and you have no health, you've lost everything. You understand? That's what I'm saying. So realize now, the stock market has everything to do with the Rothschilds. Tim Ferriss, he's placing his money right now. He's looking to go into real estate. At the moment, he's never made the decision to do so. You understand? He's just speculating. He said he has to go there. He's supposed to take action. He has to walk real estate as Grant Cardone has for 30 years. That's what's awaiting me and also Tim Ferriss. We have to walk real estate. Everybody has to walk real estate. Why? Let's get out of the 9-to-5 job, people. Let's be an entrepreneur. Because guess what? The world is poor. You understand? You can never make money off business. But guess what? Yes, you can. You can make money. But guess what? Real estate is going to show you that you have a jet, such as Grant Cardone. Grant Cardone has a jet. The only millionaire I've ever seen in my life. And billionaire. He's a billionaire now. Sorry. I just learned something. Understand? He has an actual jet. And he's the only person that's really teaching real estate. Hello? No matter what. Realize now. That's why I admire those people that I just mentioned. And realize no matter what, when you're pouring money into the stock market, such as Tim Ferriss, you will lose it in the long run. Because guess what? You may be going really good for 5 months, and then boom, stock market just fluctuates and goes down, and it sinks all your money. So for example, say, Bitcoin is on $10,000, and then say because it's going up, the Bitcoin is set up by Satoshi. Do you understand who Satoshi is? It's Rothschilds. Now, nobody sees who Satoshi is. It's a fake name. It's a fake name. Believe me, it's a fake name. And there's no conspiracy theory going on that there's some mummy guy. Do you understand? Have you ever watched The Mummy? The Mummy, they wear those things and they're on the horses and in the desert. There's no such thing as the eagle going into your hand and some random guy who you will never know. That's what they see as the conspiracy theory, that there's some Satoshi and he's conspired against the bank or something like that, and they're all bullshitting. They don't even know what they're talking about. I never even know what I'm talking about. Understand? I just see what I'm talking about. And realize this Satoshi is the Rothschilds. It's the Rothschilds. Do you understand what the Rothschilds is? I've been saying it all along. Now realize, Satoshi created blockchain technology. Oh, yes. Satoshi is the reason that blockchain is up and running. What's the blockchain made for? The blockchain is made for the stock market. Made for the stock market? Who's it made for really? It's made for Rothschilds. Yeah. Is there a conspiracy theory? No. There's no conspiracy theory here. There's no conspiracy theory here. There's no Illuminati. So somebody from the stock market who runs the stock market created some technology for the stock market. That's all it is. Do you understand? Is it simple? Very simple. Very simple. Do you understand? That's what, let's speak up now. Jesus, Mahatma Gandhi, Martin Luther King, John F. Kennedy, Daniel Milivojevich. Come on, all of us, let's stand up. Let's start being great. Let's start speaking up now. Understand? Let's make this video go viral, please. And I'll get assassinated for it. Understand? I never care. But at least I made a day. I'm better than but. At least I made a dent in those people. You understand? And now I'm a nice person. I never love to swear. You understand? I'm a rich person. You understand what's happening? Satoshi, who is really the Rothschilds, created blockchain technology. So that you go into the stock market. So why? So it fluctuates. So you lose your money. So that you give the money straight away to the Rothschilds. It's designed for the Rothschilds. You understand? The blockchain technology. Yeah. And now realize this, no matter what, you have to realize now, with gold and commodities, that has nothing to do with Rothschilds. Nothing to do with Rothschilds. You understand? Go invest your money in gold. Go invest your money in silver. Go invest your money in food and drink. And environmental development. That's a commodity. Go invest your money in me, in Grant Cardone, in people who are doing self-education and information. Yeah. Go invest your life in veganism and sobriety to live longer. Yes. Go speak up now. That's where commodities are never run by Rothschilds. Commodities is a system designed for people who were investing in oil. For example, oil is going down now. Oil is going down. In the year 2063, oil is finished. So those people who own oil now, you guys can sell it now. You guys can sell it, make money and put it into gold right now. Right now. Or put it into yourself and start educating and start doing something around your health, start doing something around your business and growth, and speak up as I do now. You understand? Because guess what? A commodity is also real estate. Why? It's an illiquid. It's an illiquid quality. Illiquid is a quality where it's just a term that we use in finance. Illiquid is a term that says you never lose your money. It's a no risk. Real estate is no risk. That's what Grant Cardone is. It's no risk. The guy, you can see, the guy is going to make money either way. You understand? But guess what? Because of the World War III coming up, you'll lose money. World War III, everybody loses. Everybody loses in the World War III. You understand that? Everybody loses. No matter how rich you are, unless you have health. You have health, you still lose. Do you really? Yeah. Why? We all lose in the world wars. When there's a World War III, guess what? Humanity is getting slaughtered. Guess what? Let's run for cover, baby. Let's make sure that no matter what, we can survive now. It's about thriving now. Let's thrive. Let's thrive the World War III. Let's make sure that we're safe, that we can outlive it. Huh? You understand what's going on? Now, you will never get this information anywhere in the world except for me now. And since people pick up on this, more and more people are going to see this now. And now we're really, really going into World War III. You understand? Why? I started it. I started the World War III. It's going to start anyway. You see it? It's going to start anyway. A Serbian-Croatian person, Gavrilo Princip, in a different manner. You understand? Because you can realize. You can see, no matter what, guys, what's happening in the world is now Satoshi, whoever that is, which I already said, is Rothschilds. They created their own system to make sure that people are more going into, instead of plastic money, they're going into currency. Guess what? Guess who owns all the currencies of the world? Guess who? Rothschilds. No matter what, you are a person now who may even have a Bitcoin. You will lose it in the long run. No matter what, Bitcoin, guess what? Who owns all of it? Who owns the stock market? Who owns all the Bitcoins and all the Ethereums and all the stock market exchange? The Rothschilds. No matter what, even when you're trading for coins. What are you trading? You're trading buy low, sell high. Those people who are doing that is Warren Buffett. Buy low, sell high. That's how you make money in gambling. You understand? You may as well play blackjack. You may as well go and play roulette and poker, because it fluctuates. You will risk it. It's a risk. As Tim Ferriss says, it's a risk. It's psychologically damaging. It's gonna kill your self-esteem. It's gonna kill your confidence. It's gonna kill your sense of worth, because you're too much thinking in the stock market and you're trying to figure out the numbers when you realize it fluctuates anyway, and just they drop in the middle of one day of the year. They drop millions of dollars into the stock market, and then those people who bought low and sold high while the stock market went up, guess what? Yes, they won. They won. Of course they won. Just as Warren Buffett did. But guess who ultimately won? The Rothschilds. Because what? Because guess what? It's never even set up for the traders to win. It's never even set up for those people such as Warren Buffett and those who are buying low and selling high to win. Because guess what? Once they keep going, guess what happens? Their health is declining. They're too much thinking. They're trying to figure it out still forever. You can never figure out the stock market. Do you understand? Why? It fluctuates. How can you figure out something that fluctuates in life? The road to success, the ultimate road to success, is uphill, baby. There's no such thing as ba. No such thing. It's only one way up. It's either up or down. Where are you going? There's no in between. There's no moderation, as the doctors say. Guess who the doctors are working for? They're working for the system of governments. Who are the government systems working for? Rothschilds. What are they doing, those doctors? They're studying education systems. They're studying in university for how long? To be a doctor. To work for who? To work for the Rothschilds? Yeah. They're studying 12 years to become a psychiatrist, to plant a medication in someone. To what? To slow them down so they never speak up. To make them a slave of the government system. By whose standards? By the Rothschild standards. You understand what's happening? Doctors, people are going into universities. What are they doing? They're getting fee help. It's called fee help here in Australia. You call fee help. That's why they give you some money from the bank. When the bank gives you money, who's really giving you money? The Rothschilds are giving you money. The Rothschilds are giving you money. You understand? When they give you money, you have to give it back. In interest. In interest. They never give it for you for nothing. You understand? Guess what? Guess what? Who made the universities and colleges? The Rothschilds made them. Yeah. Why? Because colleges and universities are banking systems designed for you to lose. Just as high schools and elementary schools and primary schools are, which is government schools and formal education. That's what you find in private schools, which is you give money for that. How do you give money for it? They'll say, hey, we'll give you money up front, and then you just give it back after a certain time period that you work for. So for example, say for me, I went to Australian Institute of Music, and guess what happened? What was happening? I'm never in debt. I'm always going up. Now, no matter what, you can use debt, or just realize this. I was going to Australian Institute of Music, every term was $9,000. Every term. How many terms are there in Australian Institute of Music? There's 4 terms. For each term is $9,000. I went 2 terms. Sorry, for each term is 4,500. For each term. For each term there's 8 weeks. 8 weeks in a term. Something like that. 10 weeks in a term, sorry. 10 weeks in a term. Something of that nature. For each term is $4,500. I went 3 terms. I went 2 terms. And they put tax on me as well. Who's taxing you? The Rothschilds are taxing you. Never work for tax, as Robert Kiyosaki says. You understand? So guess what? Since I went 2 terms, guess what? I accumulated $13,000 in debt. For who? For the Rothschilds. I never even knew. I never even seen what was happening. I just went. I was trying to help myself to create some music and to try help myself become this big celebrity in life. You understand? I'm already a celebrity in my heart. I never care about them. I never care about anybody who can never make me a celebrity. I never care. I just care about me. And now you have to realize what's going on. The colleges and universities are banking systems and government systems. It's run by the banks and the governments. Even when you give money. You understand? When you give money, it's either you give from your own pocket, you just go straight to Rothschilds, or you borrow money from the bank, which they give you now, and guess what? They put a 5% interest, and you give it back. Or when you go to the 9 to 5, they say when you go to the 9 to 5, because guess what? They see you're hopeless. Now I never see that you're hopeless. I see that you can become Mahatma Gandhi. You become something great. Never somebody else. Become yourself, but something along the lines of peace, growth, and God, and for the black people in terms of the black apartheid kind of symptoms with growth. You understand? So guys, I'm not black. You understand? I'm not white. I'm just a person. I'm not even a person. I'm just something above this world. You understand? So stand for something. They all stood for growth. Those people that died stood for growth. You understand? I stand for growth too. We all stand for growth. You understand? Now you have to realize what's going on. The banking systems and the government systems are together, as I said, just so we can repeat this information, recap each and every second. The government systems and bank own the universities and the colleges and TAFE Australia. Yeah, I went to TAFE too. You understand? And they're all together. You understand? All together. run by the banks, run by money. And that's all, it's all money related. Finance, that's why financial economy has everything to do with what's happening now. Understand? Because where the money goes, that's where the power goes. And where the money is right now is with the Rothschilds. Why? The stock market. The stock market. Understand? And it's been happening over decades and decades. Do you understand? It's been happening since the times of Jesus. It's happening. And in Jesus' times, guess what? Jesus spoke up about this, and they took him and they killed him. They crucified him and put him on the cross. Why? Because of the Rothschilds. They never need people who are in position to take over. The emperor. Yeah, you understand? Imagine the emperor getting taken over by Jesus. Would the emperor love it? And imagine Jesus being the emperor. The guy will give people freedom. Imagine me being the Rothschilds right now. Me being the Rothschilds, I'll never be the Rothschilds, but imagine me being the equivalent of the Rothschilds. What would I do? I'd make sure, no matter what, that we all are in a position of power. Every single one of us has something to say. And that we all run together. Never one running the world. Never one person running the world. I'll make sure that we all run the world. Well, the people. As Jim Rohn says, he says, give it to the people, never give it to the state. What does that mean? The state is the government. Understand? And the government is the Rothschilds. Guess what? Jim Rohn was against what was happening in terms of the Rothschilds. Just Jim Rohn never knew about it. He never knew where was it coming from. I see where he's saying, never give it to the states, give it to the people. The people will make the difference. You understand? And then, for example, now, in terms of fee help, just so I explain this, so you see, in terms of fee help, you have to see fee help is a loan the bank gives you, a credit card, a mortgage rate, an interest rate, whatever. That's all terms that Rothschilds made. They planned it all. You understand? They planned it all. They made the banks what it is today. They made the government system what it is today. They planned it. They planned the top blockchain technology. They planned it. They assigned people to go and do it for them. They gave them the money. Go and do it for me. What did they do? They just sat. And they gave the money to other people to do it. They made other people slaves to go do the blockchain for them. And guess what? They just said, put Satoshi as the name of the creator of blockchain. Yeah. Because guess what? That person, who is a fake person today? I never met a fake person today. You understand? I never met one in my life. Until I see who's a fake person. Who's a fake person? Rothschilds. They're fake. They're the people who are hiding. Everybody else is never hiding. Who's hiding in the world? It's only Rothschilds who's hiding. The conspiracy, yeah? Is there Illuminati? Nah. Go look where the people are hiding. Who's hiding today? Who's up there and hiding? Why are they hiding? Conspiracy? Is it a conspiracy? Yeah, it's a conspiracy. It's Illuminati that they are hiding. They are hiding. You understand what's happening? Yeah. When they say there's a conspiracy and an Illuminati going on, I'm not a junkie. I'm not a drugger. That's how they speak. Yeah, there is. That's the Rothschilds. Now, you have to realize now, the banking system will give you loans, credit cards, they'll give you mortgage rates, they'll make sure that you get your car, understand? They'll make sure that you get your house, you get what you need, and you have to give us, they're saying you have to give us the money back. And you never go money back, as Gary Cardone says, you never do money back. Never do money back. That's why I never do money back anymore. I realized that. There's no such thing as money back. Why? Because when you go money back, you'll be the person getting the credit card, and then you have to give money back. I never even do that, because then you have to work for a 9 to 5 as I did, for 2 years. I had to refinance $5,000 because I went to Las Vegas to gamble, as I won a seat into Las Vegas at 19. I won a satellite ticket at 19 years old in poker. I defeated 555 players. You understand? And I went into the Pro Open of Australia, APL, Australian Poker League at 19. I had to wait 2 years to even get into the casino in America. Why? Because I have to be 21 over there to be qualified to play the World Series of Poker. I had to wait for 2 years. And what did I do in that time? I had to go play poker. I had to go learn the ins and outs of poker. Guess what I learned? Gambling's never the way. Never play poker, people. It's a losing game. It fluctuates as the stock market does. Understand? The blackjack, casino, it's all fluctuating. It's all designed for who? Who owns a casino? Huh? Who owns a casino? The Rothschilds. You understand? The Rothschilds own the casino. Why? Because each gambling system is the stock market. Yeah. The government system and the banking system own the casino system. The house always wins, they say. I'm never them. I'm never evil. I never care what they say. I see the house always wins. I'm the house now. I win now. I expose you frauds out there. It's only one. It's only them. It's only Rothschilds that are really the frauds. And guess what they're doing? Who made the legal system in terms of who made that people must be doing tobacco and alcohol? The Rothschilds all over the world. They're poisoning people. Yeah. They're the ones who created legal drugs and why you see the legal law around here in terms of what's legal and what's illegal. You understand? They're the ones who created all the alcohol bars and all the taxations on the alcohol and all the taxations in the world and all the cigarettes that you see. They're the tobacco companies. Who made them? Rothschilds did. And they plaster on the actual cigarette pack and they say, do this in your own accord in terms of that's what will happen. You understand? What are they doing? They're laughing at you. They're playing mindset games with you. Do you understand what's happening? That's my biological dad playing mind games with me too. What for? Now you have to understand, I was raised by a family who also was trying to do the same thing as Rothschilds are doing to me. Why? Playing mind games. That's a mind game. I see it. As soon as I see that mind game, I see my biological dad playing mind games with me all the time. Understand? I was raised by a biological dad, one of the best mind games in the field. Really will kick you down and lift you up at the same time. It'll kick you down, lift you up. And I had to learn the ins and outs of those mind games. I see what's happening now. Understand? Now, my dad, my biological dad, I'm a real dad. I am me. My biological dad is honestly a humble man. He's a humble man. He really loves to help me with money. He doesn't know. Now, I never know anything. I'm not sure of anything. I'm better than not. I see that my biological doesn't. I'm better than not. I see that my biological dad never knows. Understand? He never knows what they do. He never knows what he does. I am never them. I'm me. Now, why do I say all that? It's just for me to be straightforward with myself. So, for example, when Jesus said they never know what they do. Do you understand? Remember that? He said in the Bible, he says they never know what they do. Forgive them, Father, because they never know what they do. Now, Jesus was saying about what's happening in the world. That, guess what? Rothschilds, they never know what they do. They're unaware of what they're doing. You understand? So no matter what, you have to forgive. Anyway, you have to forgive. You have to see, no matter what, that hatred and violence is never the way. You understand? Never hurt people. Never kill people. Never assassinate people. Violence is never the way. Look for example, look for peace. And look, no matter what, look for peace. Look for yourself the most. Make sure no matter what, when you look, you can also look at Mahatma Gandhi. Yes, you can. Look for Mahatma Gandhi and where he's going. That's where I'm going. In terms of peace, in terms of strategy, and let's lead the world. Let's update the world on what's going on. You understand? When I see Mahatma Gandhi, I see me. I see a person where I'm going. I'm going up. I'm up now. You understand? So casinos, the universities, TAFE Australia, your universities, colleges are in your area right now, unless it's China, is all run by Rothschilds. The TAB, sports bets. Oh, what's sports bet got to do with it? Yeah, it's got everything to do with it. It's a gambling system. All the gambling systems of the world is run by Rothschilds. Do you understand? They all own the system. They own the system of gambling. They made it legal. Who made it legal? Who made gambling legal? When it's killing people financially, it's making people broke. Why? Because that's what the Rothschilds need you to be doing. They need you broke. That's why. You understand? So alcohol, cigarettes, gambling, what's happening? So here I am taking a stand, and that's why I may get assassinated for this. You understand? I never care. I said I never care. Let's step up. Yeah, kill me. Allah Akbar. You understand me? I never care about you people. Yeah, I never care. What does that mean? What does that Allah Akbar mean? It means for God. I die for God now. Yeah. I have nothing against terrorists. But guess what? The terrorists are, guess what? They're the Rothschilds. That's the real terrorists of the world. 9/11, the terrorists who done that is the Rothschilds. They're getting the money. You understand? Osama bin Laden and all of them, what were they trying to do, those people? They were standing against the crowd. They were standing against those people in America. Osama bin Laden and also the other guy. And what was America singing? Freedom, freedom. Yeah, who was behind America singing it? The Rothschilds. The Rothschilds went for those people to kill them. Osama bin Laden. Now, guess what? Those people in Pakistan and all those people, Osama bin Laden and those people that got killed, those two, Osama bin Laden and another guy, guess what? Those people took a stand. But guess what? They do it, I'm begging about. They did it in a violent way as well, just as Gavrilo Princip did. You understand? You understand what's going on? And then you see the war. The war is going on in Pakistan and Taliban and over there. Why? Because they're taking a stand. They're saying, why they ruin the world? Yeah, I understand them. I understand the fury there. I understand, but it's never the way. It's never the way to kill. No, it's never the way. What's the way? Let's spread the message. Spread the message. We all need to work together to overcome this. 99% of the world is able to do it. You understand? They say 1% of the world rules the world. No, 99% of the world will rule the world when 99% of the world takes over the 1%. Who's the 1% of the world? Guess what? 1% of the finances in the world is going to Rothschilds. So what do we need to do to really make this overcome them, overcome those people? You understand? We have to overcome them. How? Let's spread the message together about this. I may get assassinated. I may die for this. Am I lying about this? No, I'm not lying about this. I see it. I see it. I make common sense of it. I'm very smart to even say this. I see I'm very smart. I'm smarter than ever now. Now you have to realize, no matter what's going on now, you need to, the only way that we can really spread this message across is that's the way. We need to spread the message across in order to overcome these people, because more people, when we step away from the 9-to-5 job, all together now, everybody raise up, say no more 9-to-5 job, no more 9-to-5 job, no more do we place money in the stock market, no more do we work for anybody. What do we really do? We never put money in the stock market. That's the first one. Never put money in the stock market, never worked a 9-to-5. Everybody must be able to do that. Once you see this video, I promise you must start taking action now. And I need you to spread the message. How? Because guys, think about it. There's no thinking about it. You can see it. I never think. I see my thinking. Say, I see my thinking. Say, I see my thinking. Why? Because you're never your ego. The thinking mind is the ego. You're never your thinking. You have to be able to control yourself. Control the mind. Understand? When you control the mind, you're controlling the ego. That's how you overcome the mind. When you control your mindset, when you have more discipline, you overcome the mind. You overcome your ego. Understand? So be a person of growth. Be a person who's teaching your own education system. So this is how to overcome the Rothschilds. Listen to me now. I'm fearless. I'm fearless. Listen. Everybody must be able to now. Who cares about the money? Where's the money going? It's all Rothschilds anyway. We need to overcome Rothschilds with their own money right now. We need to make sure that we never ever work the 9 to 5 in the first place. Everybody leave your jobs right now. Just leave and never call them ever again. Leave. The whole world. How many people in the world? 7.6 billion? Each and every one of us have to leave the 9 to 5 right now. It can be done. It can be done, I promise you. And what happens then? Then what we do is, we never invest in the stock market. Why? Because that way, we're never slaves to a 9 to 5 job, and we're never, ever losing money. That's 2 right there. Understand? We're going to defeat the Rothschilds with their own money standards. Understand? Yeah, we're gonna do that. We're gonna do that. Once we do that, I promise you, I'll show you this now. Once we do that, we take a stand. For how long? How long are we going to do this? We're going to support each other. We run wild. We run wild. I'll show you right now. We're going to run wild. You understand? I need you guys to stand up with me. I need you to realize we're going to do this. You understand? First, I'm planning it right now. I'm planning it right now how we're going to defeat this guy and these people. Guys, their education systems, do you understand? They're ruling over us. How? Over finance. So finance is how we defeat them. We defeat those people with their own game, with the game of finance. It's very simple to defeat them. We stand away from the 9 to 5 job, forget the money, forget the living standards. Forget all of it. We're taking a stand now. Do you understand? We're taking a stand. We go away from the 9 to 5 job. Let's never work ever again. Never again. That's the only way that we're ever going to defeat the Rothschilds. That's number 1. Get away from 9 to 5 job. Say all your family to watch this video is number 2. Number 1, watch this video, share it. That's number 1. We're sharing this now. We're sharing this video. I stand for it. Whoever shares for it stands for it also with me. Number 2, stay away from the 9 to 5 job. Why? Because when you work a 9 to 5 job, you're a slave. That's why. That's more enough reason. When you work a 9 to 5 job, you work for the government. When you work for the government, you're working for Rothschilds. Let's never work for Rothschilds in the first place. Let's never work the 9 to 5 job. Let's never worry about food or anything. Let's do that. That's number 2. Number 3, never invest in the stock market. Why? Because when you invest money in the stock market, what happens? It goes to Rothschilds anyway. Those are number 3. Those are 3 steps. Those are the first 3 steps. I'm honest, I'm kind, I'm very abrupt, and I'm doing better than myself. No matter what, guess what? Now, what else do we need to do to overcome these people? Since we're going to defeat them, we're going to defeat them in their own game of finance. Guess what? We will share this in China too. We're going to share this in China. Yes, we are. Why? We're going to start the World War III. We're going to start World War III. You understand? Yeah, we are. Do we have to? We have to. Do we have to really? No, we never have to. No, we never have to. There has to be another way. Why start World War III? Why start World War III? We cut the bond market in China. Cut it up. Cut it up. Cut it up. That's number 4. Cut it up. Let China see this and say to them right now, never invest in America ever again. Number 4, and let America decide now what's going to happen. You understand? Let America sign and see this video. Let them all see what's happening and who they're working for in the governments over there in America. Yeah, go. Hey, that's what you do. When I say go, I never mean negativity. Make sure America sees this video. Make sure those Rothschild people see me right now. Yeah, make them see me. Make them see me. Share this video around everywhere. As soon as now, take a stand. Let China see this. Cut the bond market. Stop giving them money. It's a freaking scam. The paper. That's the 4th one. The 5th one, guess what? America's on their own. America's already on their own. The 5th step, America's on their own. And now, guess what? That's more than enough. Is it really? It's more than enough. 4 steps to defeating these people. The blockchain, throw it away. That's number 5. Blockchain, throw it away. We never need blockchain. We never need a blockchain. We never need a stock market in the first place. Everybody needs to do this. Everybody. Including me. And who's making this video? Am I a leader? Am I going to dominate you? Am I going to take your money? I'll never take your money. I'll make you sure go see my university, go see my life. Understand? No matter what. Now you have to see, no matter what happens. Those are 5 steps to overcoming the Rothschilds. How to Rothschilds, you understand? Now, what's more? Now, from that point, guess what? No need for violence. No need for violence in this category at all. Let's never even start the World War III. Let's never even start the World War III. Because currently, say nobody even speaks about this, nobody even shows this video, I promise you there will be a World War III and I can stop it. Right now, I can stop it. I promise you, through this video. I have a message to say, I may get assassinated for this. I never care. I never care. At least I'll stand for growth. At least I'll stand for the people that are Jesus, Martin Luther King, Mahatma Gandhi, and John F. Kennedy, and also my mentors, which are Tony Robbins, Grant Cardone, Robert Kiyosaki, Tim Ferriss, Lewis Howes, Osho, Eckhart Tolle. I'm not the mind, I'm not the ego. There's also Osho. There's Osho, I already said him. There is Neil Donald Walsh, John Gray, Zig Ziglar, Jim Rohn, Brian Tracy, these people, John C. Maxwell. These are my mentors I grew up watching. Understand? And now I'll show you something. That's my motto. I'll show you something. Rothschilds, I'll show you something. Those are the 5 steps. Understand? The first step, share this message. The second step, stay away from your 9-to-5 job. I never care how you get fed in life. I never care about your babies. And guess what? I do care. Do you understand? Stay away from the 9-to-5 job. Find out how to get your money and feed yourself. Feed yourself in accommodation. You can do that easily. You can easily do that. You can find accommodation with your friends, get together in a nice crew. You understand? Start organizing everybody, all of you, to start spreading this message around and start doing something right now, which is stay away from your 9-to-5 jobs. Make sure that you're spreading this message. Stay away from the stock market altogether. Just stay away from the stock market. That's all you have to see. Stay away from trading. Stay away from the blockchain. Stay away from forex. You understand? Stay away from the government schools. Never take your kids to school, ever, in your local area. It's all for government. It's all for the Rothschilds. Take your government schools. Take your kids away from your schools. Make sure you bring your child with you inside your house. Make sure that they stay. Make sure that you realize that you take away your kids in terms of make them stay away from the government schools out there. Understand? That's another one. Let's fight in that aspect. Make sure that we have nobody in terms of civilians who are us. We are civilian people. We're just people. Understand? And we're more than people. We're above this world. You understand? You can see what Jesus said. We're above this world. Now realize no matter what, every person must be able to do this. I can repeat it all over and over. Take away all your kids. Make sure that your kids are away from the schools. Never put them in. Just make sure they never go to the school. Why? It's set up. It's set up to make your kids work for a 9-to-5. Let's take them away from a 9-to-5. Let's keep them in our households. Yes, that's number 6. Number 9. Well, where am I up to? I'm playing this on the spot. Here we go. Make sure you share this message. Stay away from 9-to-5 job. Stay away from the stock market. Stay away from Bitcoin and all those cryptocurrencies and blockchain. That's number 4. Stay away from blockchain. Stay away from cryptocurrencies. Stay away from public schools and all this stuff that you see in terms of education, in terms of in your country. Never take your kids to school. Make sure they never even go to the schools in your local area because they're set up for Rothschilds. And also, make sure that some of you Chinese people send it to China somewhere, this video, and spread it around, please. Make sure you guys make an interpretation of my video too. Please do it for me in Chinese. Make sure it goes to China. Goes to China and let them see the interpretation in Chinese. And let them see to cut the bond market and what's going on. This is the only way I can do it. And I can do it through social media, through Mark Zuckerberg's social media. For free. You understand? So guess what? That's the 7th, 8th step. Realize, write these steps down. Please make sure that you rewind this video. Rewind the video, please. Also, Also, once you guys in China, you cut the bond market, guess what? We spread the message across. Make sure everybody's doing it. Stay away from the schools, stay away from 9 to 5 job. Let there be a financial collapse everywhere. We need to do financial collapse everywhere. Let them, those people who are, what's the name? They're Rothschilds. Let them have all the money. We have freedom. Yes, we do. Freedom. Yes, we do. Let's read. Freedom, 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 freedom. This is a big right. There's a big right over here. Understand? In the world. That's how we defeat the Rothschilds. We're gonna take your money. Let's start printing our own. All of us. Let's make our own economy. Take your money, all of it. All of it. Take it. Shove up your ass. Yes. Tell them, shove up your ass. You understand? Yeah. Let it be. I'm a happy person. I'm a rich person. I'm rich or better, as Jack Canfield says. Jack Canfield is one of my mentors. And that's how you defeat that Rothschild family. With their own money. Make sure that you're never working for it. Money is made easily, as Tony Robbins says. Money is made easily. Yes, it is. I read daily. No matter what. That's how we defeat him. That's how we defeat Mr. Burns and the Rothschild family. You understand? Screw them. With their own money. Put it down the toilet in their own family household. Where they are. You understand? Put it in their family household. Make sure they create incest with it. You understand? Yeah, freedom. I see. Jesus is talking to me right now. You understand? I remember. Yeah, I do. I feel God's with me right here. I feel shivers right now. I feel shivers. You understand? That's what you do. You understand? I see Mahatma Gandhi. I see Martin Luther King. I see John F. Kennedy. I see them right now. We need to now stay away from them. Everything that I've said in this video, in terms of my life, you have to realize what we're staying away from is the 9 to 5 job. We're staying away from the public schools and the government systems in terms of the school education system because it's run by the Rothschilds. You understand? We're staying away from the government schools in your local area. We're staying away from the 9 to 5 jobs in your local area. Just never work for anybody else. Never work the 9 to 5 job for somebody else. Never work the 9 to 5 job for somebody else. Never make your kids go to the 9 to 5 job, and never make them work inside the schools, and also never take your kids to school. Just make sure that your kids never go to the government schools in your local area. Take your kids away from the local government area schools and from the 9 to 5 jobs, and make sure that you never work for a 9 to 5 job. Get inside, get in shelter, get some food. We're gonna write it out. All of us. We're gonna write it out, and we're going to be together for a certain period of time. We're going to build our own economy from this. How are we doing it? From this now, how are we going to move forward? We're gonna make sure that China is cutting the bond market. We're never giving bonds to America. You understand? Because that is slavery. You understand? It's slavery for China to be giving money to America. Why? Because America is run by the Rothschilds. It's by fake paper system. You understand? It's a fake paper that I described in this video, that China has been fooled by Rothschilds to be giving money to America to make more money based on percentage return that the Rothschilds made a fake paper with, the Wall Street over there, which is the Rothschild family. Do you understand? So what you need to do is realize, get this message across somehow to everybody. Everybody needs to see this message. We need to stay away from 9 to 5 job. We need to stay away from the government schools. We need to share this message. That's number 3. Stay away from the stock market, stay away from the bond market, stay away from all those markets in terms of stock markets. Stay away from all of the blockchain technology and all the stuff, because that's all related to the Rothschild family. You understand? It's all related to the Rothschild family. Do you understand? Stay away from what's related to the Rothschild family. That's how you overcome them. That's what I'm saying. You stay away from the schools in your local area. You stay away from the 9 to 5 jobs. It's all set up with the government systems to make you go work. It's bullshit. You understand? So guess what? I see what's happening. No matter what, you can see it. I can see they're giving bullshit. Now realize, that same paper is making you go and work the 9 to 5 because everybody's confused right now. So what you do is, everybody must share this message so nobody else is confused. How do we move forward from this? Make sure no matter what, you guys stay in your homes. Stay in your homes, okay? And let's start printing our own money. Let's start making our own economy now. Own economies. So what are we doing? We're never working anymore for this person. We're never working anymore for Rothschilds. Understand? That's how we go. From this point, we're moving forward now. From this point, make sure that no matter what, in your government education systems in the future, there is no future. There's no future in life. In your own government education systems from this point forward, make sure nobody is screwing us anymore. Understand? How? Make sure that the Rothschilds are never giving their own paper money to us. Yes. Yes, baby. Yes. Freedom, 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 freedom. Make sure, do you understand what's happening? Because we're no longer going to use cryptocurrency. Do you understand? We're no longer using cryptocurrency. We're no longer using blockchain technology. And we're no longer using their money that they have. We're going to make a new currency. We're going to make a new currency totally. And those people who have that currency is only the people, baby. Yes, freedom, freedom, freedom. Do you understand? When people have their own financial systems, we have our own government paper money. We have our own paper money. We'll create a shit. Sorry, it's never about shit. We're creating our own financial economy now with our own money. We're going to create a new dollar. We're going to create a new dollar, and that dollar is going to have an icon of something such as growth, something such as freedom. Let's have a tree on it or something, a leaf. Let's have a leaf. Let's have a vegan leaf on it, please. Why? Why? Because that's the way. That's the world shifting into veganism anyway. You understand? Let's have something that's growing, something that's a tree, something that's free, something that's growth. You guys make it up. Okay? I'm a vegan. Let's stand for veganism. You understand? That's what I say. Let's see what the people say. Let's stand for growth. Let's educate ourselves. I can educate you guys on veganism. I already have in my university. So guys, no matter what, that's what we're doing now. We're going to build our own economy with our own financial dollar. How? We're going to print it. We're going to print it, baby. Yeah. Shove your money up your ass. Yeah. That's the way. And then guess what? What are they going to do with their money? Because now since they have all their money, and we have a new dollar now, what are they going to do with it? What are they going to do with it? Huh? They have to start working. Do they have to start working? Huh? Do they have to start working now? Well, guess what? At least we'll never be. At least listen. No matter what, at least we'll never be run by the Rothschilds. Because guess what? They are in position of power. Let China be in position of power now. Why? Because China's going to help us. China's going to help us. Let's use China's money. Let's use China's money everywhere. Yeah, let's bring China's money everywhere in the economy. They already have their own banking system. They have their own banking system. They can print money for us. Yeah, print us Chinese money. Yeah. Do you understand? Why not? It's a beautiful idea. You understand? It's a beautiful idea. And the Reserve Bank of China, which the Rothschilds can never ever gain ever again. They can print all of our money quickly, and they can send it off. And guess what? And then from that point, the Rothschilds stock market, you understand? That's how it is. That's how it is. And no matter what, you have to realize, I'm a nice person. I'll never swear. You understand? You have to understand. And then we stay away from their money, and the Australian dollar today, blah. You understand? We use China's money, and listen. No matter what, we can find food. And this has to be a new movement now. This has to be the movement of growth. You understand? The movement of growth. And no matter what, we have to realize that's the only way to overcome Rothschilds. That's the only way. If you hear my message today, that we must beat and we must defeat Rothschilds with their own family, as I made common sense in this video. No matter what, those Rothschilds, they can never use their money anymore. They can never use their money. They're scraping everybody. For decades, for centuries. They're scraping everybody. Do you understand what it is? I'm James Bond of Grove. under James Bond growth. No matter what, they were for centuries assassinating people who are innocent, such as Martin Luther King, Mahatma Gandhi, Jesus, and John F. Kennedy. The President of America assassinated. Why? Because who's behind it? The Rothschilds. You understand? So no matter what, now you realize, let's use China's money to begin with. Or let's create a new dollar exchange. Let's create something new. And let's never even have a stock market in the first place. Because the stock market is a shamble. It's a scam. It's Rothschilds' money. So let's defeat Rothschilds with their own money game. And the only way to overcome this now with the 9-to-5 job, how are we going to make everybody work? Listen, no matter what, we need to work somehow. We need to work somehow. We have to work. But we're going to work for the people this time. Let's build a new economy. I stand for a new economy. Do you? Do you understand? I stand for something greater. I need your help now. You understand? It makes me almost cry to give this video. But guess what? I realized I've made a revelation in this video. I just planned it on the spot, such as Tony Robbins does. Tony Robbins is my inspiration. I'm my biggest inspiration. I'm my #1 inspiration. I was supposed to say, I see that Tony Robbins is my inspiration because the I puts me first. Say I! You understand? Now, I'm never other people, I'm me. You understand? That say I means Tony Robbins says that. Say I. That's Tony Robbins' trademark. Say I. You say I more and more, you'll become a somebody even more. So realize now, we need to work the 9-to-5. We need to work the 9-to-5 more and more. That's how we're going to survive. That's how we're going to live. But guess what? For next year, for the next 2 years, however long it takes, I promise you, let us guide the way now. This video is now in fruition. What does this mean? I will now go post this everywhere. I'll go spam people. And I'll make sure that people watch this. I'll make people to watch this. I'll make sure that no matter what happens, that we're a free country. That we are one currency. That is whatever the dollar is. Make it China's money right now because they have the Reserve Bank. And then guys, we're gonna start again from scratch. And there's never going to be a world war anymore. And let China be the most powerful now. Let them rule over us. Never in terms of rule over us. Let China's economy be our economy now. You understand? Because guys, we're never supposed to be ruled by other people. We're supposed to work together. Let China now work with us together. We're never ruled by other people. I never stand for that. I never stand for other people ruling for other people. I mean, I never stand for other people ruling over other people, such as Rothschilds do. What you have to realize that I get my information from Thomas Edison. Thomas Edison, how? Because guys, you have to realize that light bulb, it took him 1,000 times to stay away from certain things in life to realize the light bulb. I stay away from, now, no matter what, in this video, I've already said 9-10 stuff that you must stay away from in life to overcome the Rothschilds. And that's what I've been doing all my life in terms of until today. I have over 50,000 investments. I stay away from this, I stay away from that, I stay away from that. The Thomas Edison theory. Yeah? When they asked Thomas Edison, oh, how long did it take you to recreate a light bulb? What did they ask him? They asked him, how did he feel? How did he feel that you made 1,000 mistakes? He said, I never made 1,000 mistakes. He found 1,000 ways it never work. So guess what? I found 10 ways in this video how Rothschild's money will never work for us. And how we can overcome the Rothschilds by staying away from 10 ways they will never work. Stay away from the 9-to-5, stay away from the formal education system, create our own dollar, use China's banking system and economy, stay away from blockchain, stay away from universities over here, in schools, the universities around, colleges, TAFE, Australia, stay away from them, never show up there, never take your kids there, never take your kids to school, never go to school, start self-education systems. I say start education systems Understand? My mentors also teach you, as I mentioned. Share this video. Understand? No need for World War III. Understand? So you have to realize all the places I mentioned in this video, those places you can go and you can realize you can start doing this now. How about the money? The money, we're making our own money now. Realize that. That's the new movement. Forget Rothschild's money. Share this around. Share this around. Repeat the video as much as you can. That's the only way to realize, no matter what, I have to go out. No matter what, I'm never going out over there. I'm going here. I'm only here. I'm only here in life. I have to go and share this video now everywhere. I have to go start preaching everywhere. Hey, have you heard about the Rothschilds? Have you heard about the Rothschilds, sir? I'll start spreading the message. I need you to start doing it too. Understand? Because guys, we have to learn our own economy now. We need to start printing our own money. And the printing machine's already ready for us. It's in the bank already. It's in the bank of China, which is owned by China. It's owned by their economy. It's never owned by the Rothschilds. How do I do this? How do I do this? I just connected the dots. Vishen Lakhiani said in his book, the book of, for example, what he was saying, the code of the extraordinary mind is what I read. He just said you need to connect the dots. You need to jump out of the crowd. That's what I've done here in Perth, using Rothschild's money against him. You understand? And the only way to really solve financial economy is to throw out Rothschild's financial economy. You understand? Now, I did say that the only way to solve financial economy is health and honest. I was honest. That's my quote. Now I just made two quotes. The only way that you're going to see life is to realize that the Rothschild's way is never our way. You understand? The Rothschild's way is never our way. Now, how about the real estate? How about all that? Guess what? As long as it goes the Rothschild's way, I promise that guy will own every single real estate in the planet. So guess what? Since we're making a break here, and we're saying, hey, Rothschilds, shove your coins up your ass. And shove your money up your ass. I'm not cheap. And I say, I'm not cheap, I'm not expensive. Now, you have to realize I'm not hating on anybody. I was hating a bit, was I? Yeah. I'm richer, better. I'm happy I forgive myself and everything. That's even better. That's even better. Now, listen, just because I said that, never means I'll go shoot the guy, that Rothschilds. I stand for something new now. I need you to stand with me. I need you guys to support me in this. I need you to realize that, hey, stay away from 9 to 5. You're more of your family. You're realizing more. You're helping yourself more. You're helping the economy now, much more. We're going to make a new government system. New government system. Totally new. How? From a new economy without the financial economy of Rothschilds. That's how we're going to defeat this person. And guys, guess what? The Rothschild family, they'll never even be able to use their own money. No matter how much money they have. 11% every year. Yeah, we're going to make a new economy now. Let's make a new stock market exchange. You understand? We never even need a stock market exchange. Let's not even look at it. What do you need it for? What do you need it for? We have social media. You understand? We have social media now. We never need a stock market in the first place. Why? That's a made-up exchange. It's made up. It's totally made up for us to lose. Let's take it away. Well, we have to do it. We have to do it. Us 99% of the world. Who is never the Rothschilds, that's who can do it. How many people is that? We have to do it together. Is it worth it? It's easily worth it when everybody is following my orders. It's never in my orders, sorry. I'm never ordering you to do it. I'm never ordering you to do it. I just realized it's a better way. Now, I'm never ordering you. Just realize that I'm your friend. As John C. Maxwell said, I'm your friend. I'm never ordering you to do it. These are just my instructions on how you can make a better economy. Now, if you stand for it, thank you very much. Because I do. I stand for myself. I never make a fool out of myself in what I've said in this video. Because guys, that's the only way to do it. And then, guess what? As we go along, China will print the money for us. They'll send us money everywhere. Europe will be its own economy. Australia, its own economy. And guess what? We never have to be in a world war ever again. There's never going to be power over anybody else. Why would there be? We're going to be on each other's side. Because guess what? Now America is truly free. Now Australia, every country in the world is truly free from Rothschilds. Because they are the ones who created all the wars. They are the people who assassinate people. Understand? They are the people who are the conspiracy theory. They're the people who are the Illuminati. You understand? They're the people who are evil. They're the people who never show themselves. So what are we really fighting against? We're fighting against people who have no good for us. So we need to stand for that. We need to share this video around, because guys, no matter what, there's no need for a world war anymore. And as long as nobody solves this, except for me, I just solved it right now. I solved it. Now all you have to do is take the action. The action is what I've said in this video. Please repeat it. Understand? I never love to repeat myself over and over. And guess what? No matter what, I can repeat myself in a different way each time. No matter what, I never care. I care for myself only. I care for the people. I care for what I've said over here. Even when I say I never care, I do care. I just care for me more than everybody else. So realize, spread this video around, show some millionaires, show some multimillionaires, people in power, people who can show this message to everybody. And realize, guys, I'm just a guy who is born in Australia, in Sydney. Now, I'm something above this world. I was born in Newtown, Australia. I'm currently here in Perth. I've been traveling Australia for 9 months. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a problem solver. Guys, you have it from me now, that as the economy gets stronger now, we have to realize there is a better way. And I've already said it. Guys, see you guys in the next video.